News is news. Welcome. What was good? Goodbye, YouTube. What? Oh, I hate when they do that. I know that was a clip. No coming back from this? Oh, just a thing about him. Clickbaiting me is what he's doing. Let's get the YouTubes up. Let's get the game going. Welcome back again. My name is Alexander Wagner, and you are watching another episode of No News is News, where we cover everything in the news that happened today and everything that didn't and stuff. Our poll of the day, as it is every day, is Kelchi odds 2028. The 2028 Kelchi odds, Marco Rubio 19%, number one, and number 4 is Kamala Harris again. Okay. Here we go. So, starting the poll again. Who will be president in 2028? Day 28 of poll. Will it be Marco Rubio with 1 win? Will it be Gavin Newsom with, I think, 6 wins now? Is that correct? 6 wins, yes. 6 wins. Oh, wait, no, it's J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance with 20 wins. Is it Gavin Newsom with 6 wins? Or is it Kamala Harris? The poll is up. Get your votes in. Here we go, guys. Throwing her up now. There we go. And the first one is Donald Trump. Daddy Trump. Daddy Trump holds a cabinet meeting. Cabinet meeting today. Meeting the cabinets.
Administration's nuclear agreement with that country and said he was, quote, in no rush to negotiate. The president also recognized Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton's primary victory against incumbent Republican Senator John Cornyn. President Trump endorsed Ken Paxton over Senator Cornyn, who's been in office since 2002.
For our country?
Trump endorsed Ken Paxton over Senator Cornyn, who's been in office since 2002.
2002. Crazy.
It's been a tremendous period of time for our country, and things are going very well. Number of jobs. We have more people working today than we've ever had before in the history of our country. And many other things, and I have a few words to say to you that I think will be helpful. Last night was incredible, not only Texas, but so many other places, and the numbers were fantastic, and they've really been that way for a year. If you look, it's hundreds of people won, and almost nobody didn't win. So, but last night was very powerful. So I'm thrilled to welcome everyone to the 12th cabinet meeting of our administration, and we're doing something that no administration's ever done.
All right. We're
always letting the press join us because we're very open and transparent. We like the word transparent, but we're more transparent than any administration in history. No, to the best of my knowledge, press has never been invited ever to a cabinet meeting for any reason at all. And it's an honor to have you. This team has achieved more than most other administrations achieve in 8 years. We took the most dangerous, unsafe, violent, and open border in the world. Anywhere in the world, there's no border like the border we had. And created the most secure border in the history of our country. We had no people, 12 months now, no people reported in the last 12 months came in illegally. 0 illegal aliens admitted to the United States in the last 12 months. And those charts are made by, you would say, politically unfriendly people. And the reason they don't come in is because nobody comes up, because they know that they're going to be turned away, and if they get in, they're going to be moved out right away. So It's been 0. You're the one that do the reports. I'm actually surprised by the number because I don't know how it can be 0, but They say it's zero for the last 12 months. In 2025, we achieved the largest drop in the murder rate ever recorded. So the murder rate was quite high, and we achieved the largest drop in the murder rate ever recorded to the lowest level in 125 years. That's the year 1900. And that's despite the fact that many people came in from prisons and from very rough countries and from mental institutions and from lots of other places, drug dealers and others. They came in illegally during the Biden administration. We've gotten many of them out, but we still have some that we're looking for, quite a few that we're still looking for, but we've gotten over 11,888 murders were allowed into our country. We've gotten a lot of them out. We've gotten some, we put them in jail. We don't even trust the country to send them because they'll come back in maybe. We put them in jail. 11,888 murders, more than half of which have committed more than one murder. That's what they allowed in. They can never be forgotten for the horrible things they've done to this country. Fentanyl coming across our border is now down by 61%. 61%. And coming in by water, by sea, by ocean is down 97%. Can you imagine? Thanks to our Republican majorities in Congress, we passed the largest tax cuts in American history. All Democrats voted against the tax cuts, putting more money in Americans' pockets. This year, the typical family got tax refunds of nearly, almost close to $5,000. The stock market has set 68 all-time record highs since the election. So 68 days, we hit all-time highs. We're right there now. And the average 401k, and that's despite the conflict. I don't call it a war, I call it a conflict. Despite the conflict with Venezuela, who no longer has a Navy, no longer has an Air Force, no longer has a lot of people that were leading the country into very bad places. Their leadership is gone. Their second rung leadership is gone, and we're dealing with their third, half of their third, because half of their third is gone too. The average 401k is up almost $30,000 since I took office. So the Americans are benefiting working today. We have the most working, and we have 401ks at their all-time high. Highest they've ever been. And that goes along with the stock market, which is the highest it's ever been.
When did we get a check? When did the American people actually get what was stolen from them? We, the people, absolutely sort of how I feel lately. Daddy Trump be lying. Now he's here with his new cabinet, all new members, doing all the weird shit. But we're going to also be looking at some liberals today. And up first, we got Mr. Gavin Newsom, too. And Gavin Newsom is here to create some new election laws for the state of California. Sounds a little fishy, huh? Sounds a little fishy. We'll see.
His efforts to safeguard elections in the state ahead of the 2026 midterm elections. That'll be live here on C-SPAN, also on C-SPAN Now, our free mobile app, and online at cspan.org.
Protecting the sanctity of the voting process. And in many ways, this is one of a number of bills, but in many ways this begins to answer that question in a substantive way, the bill that I'm about to sign. But rather than belaboring the point, I'll finish up. I wanted to hear from our authors, and Assemblywoman, perhaps we'll listen to you first and walk us through it with all your background, by the way, full disclosure.
7 years as a chief elections official.
Yeah, so you know a thing or two about the bill that you've gotten to my desk.
Yes. Well, I just want to thank you for agreeing to sign it today. I'm going to hold you to that. The bill does three important things. First, it strengthens protections for the chain of custody of voted ballots by increasing the accountability for the unlawful seizure or removal of ballots from elections officials. When the sheriff in Riverside seized the 650,000 ballots from the elections official, I was horrified. Breaking that chain of custody breaks the trust that voters have in our elections. Second, the bill prohibits unauthorized access to voting systems, voting machines, or voter data without lawful judicial authorization. And third, it gives the Secretary of State, the Attorney General, and local elections officials stronger legal tools to respond quickly when election interference threatens voter confidence or election administration. So let me be clear. Election workers should never fear political intimidation for simply doing their job. Voters should never wonder whether ballots were improperly handled, and law enforcement powers should never be misused in ways that jeopardize the integrity of our democratic process. So SB 73 helps to ensure that California elections remain secure, transparent, and administered according to the rule of law. Our democracy depends not only on the right to vote, but on the public's confidence.
Sounds like they're trying to protect the fucking vote of the Democrats.
And counted fairly. So thank you for the opportunity to be here today.
I appreciate it. Senator, you want to
Sure.
add
Well,
to
thank
that?
you, Governor, and thank you, Assemblymember Pellerin and Senator Cervantes, for your leadership in this space. Let me take you back to Election Day, November of 1988. You youngsters don't roll your eyes yet. On Election Day 1988, I was a federal prosecutor. I was assigned as the duty officer for any election irregularities. Early that morning, I got a call that there were police officers stopping Latinos from voting in Orange County. You hear weird things all the time in that job. A couple hours later, I got another phone call, then a third phone call, so I grabbed another prosecutor. We went out, and there was a person, a policewoman, with a big sign that said, "Non-citizens may not vote." We watched as a Latino couple, or what appeared to be a Latino couple, approached her, engaged in conversation, turned and walked away. Now, we had heard that they were asking for proof of citizenship. They turned, walked away. We got out of the car, and of course, we were prosecutors. White shirt, red tie.
I don't understand. What's the problem here?
Sign, we proceeded
Talking about it like it's some crazy
that
thing.
Time, that wasn't illegal. I didn't know it wasn't illegal to do that at the time. But the person
illegal,
who was responsible actually won that election. There were no
Are there
Democrats
American flags
elected
behind
at
these
level in Orange
communists?
County.
Exactly.
I ran
They need
against
to
that
change
guy,
them
Kurt
quick.
Kringle, and won.
Change them.
But that was the catalyst that got me into public life, at least elective public life. And so I thought, 36 years ago, that that issue was probably done. And here we are today. Here we are today where the President of the United States and others are saying, hey, we're going to do the exact same things. We're going to engage in what is essentially intimidation of voters. And so thank you to the leaders here in California for not standing for that, for being proactive to make sure that we do everything we possibly can to protect the integrity of this election, as it has been protected for decades and decades until somebody started to threaten it. And so with that, I'm going to turn it over to Senator Cervantes. Thank you again for your leadership.
Yes, well, right now California is standing with courage, standing with urgency to protect voters' rights to cast a ballot free from intimidation or interference. We've seen an incident in my own home county of Riverside where ballots were seized and the chain of custody was broken. That is against the law. SB 73 puts in protections to ensure that ballots will be secure, and that voters have confidence in our election system, that their voices will be heard at the ballot box.
Sounds like you're doing the same thing the motherfucking Republican was talking about. But anyway, on to the next one. Jesus Christ, guys. Wow, how crazy is that? Let's look into our poll. 11 minutes in, and we have 48 votes. Marco Rubio, 38%. Marco Rubio is taking the lead with 37% of the vote. I'm really shocked here, but Marco Rubio in the strong lead at the top of the hour. A little less than 1,000 people into our chat so far. Thank you for joining us. Double tap, hit that like button, hit subscribe. We also got today, Mr. Tellerico was here. I need to see if there's anything else that we're missing today in the events, but I'm pretty sure that at least, got the governor of New Jersey on data centers. Dick Durbin delivers remarks to the Illinois General Assembly. American Fraternals, Whitmer, Pence, and Pete Buttigieg bridging political divide. Ugh, gross. Where is this? There was a James Tellerico got here. Or did he not do that yet? He has not done that campaign speech. He's doing a campaign speech later tonight. I mean, Whitmer? It's kind of a character.
Both are attending a policy conference in Mackinac Island, Michigan.
It's a policy conference. Doesn't matter. All right, back to Daddy Trump. Let's go back to Daddy Trump.
Under my most favored nation agreements, this is something that I wish the media would talk about, because to me it's one of the biggest things ever to happen in our
Millions
country.
of out-of-state Republicans
Certainly
show up
as
to vote in
to
California.
Medical,
Blonde drug
anything
dealer,
having to do
boo.
with medical, because drug prices, we're delivering record-setting discounts on prescription drugs with price differences of 400, 500, and even 600% at the TrumpRx.gov. We recently added nearly 1,000 low-cost generics to the website. So we have drugs down 400, 500, 600%. Now you could say 80, 90, 70, 60, 50% if you want. There are two ways. Depends on the way you
I
ask the
already got
question.
my ticket.
But a pill that would sell in Germany or in,
Welcome back, Jason.
let's say in London for $10, we're selling for here for $130. And I got the countries to all agree, otherwise they would have had to pay big tariffs. I don't want to go into it, but I had some very interesting discussions. They said vehemently no, and then
Maggots love
when I
their
said, that's
technology.
all right, we're going to charge you 50% tariff on everything you sell into America, they said, well, like we said, we'll say yes. And every single country agreed, and every drug company agreed. So we have most favored nation. So we were paying the highest drug prices in the world. Now we're paying the lowest drug prices in the world. So that pill that I talked about would go from $10 to $20. The world is bigger than the U.S. Hard to believe, but it's true. So it's not like you cut it in the middle. They just had to go up a little bit, but a little bit is a doubling of a price. So a little bit's a lot. So the pill would go from $10 to $20.
Kind of
And
like
we'd
Daddy
go
Trump.
from $130
Saying the same shit.
to $20.
Why do a cabinet
Think of
meeting?
that.
They can just listen to your speeches.
So
bro.
we would get, if you remember, some of you were at the news conference I had in my first term where I got the prices down 1/8%, 1/4% my first term. And I was so proud of it because drug prices hadn't come down in 28 years, and I was the first one to do it. But now I'm getting them down, not 1/8%, I'm getting them down 400, 500, 600. Or if you want to use it a different way, you could say 70%, 80%, 90%, 50%. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. And I got that through, well, everybody knew it was taking place, but we paid the highest prices anywhere in the world. Now we're paying the lowest prices anywhere in the world, and the press refuses to write
bless
about it. I think it's the
President
biggest thing. And
American savior.
for healthcare, so much of it is prescription drug prices and drug prices. And with them coming down, the healthcare is going to come down very substantially. We recently added nearly 1,000 low-cost generics too, as I said, and that's 1,000 drugs, and it's all on. And this was not given
Are you willing to
by me.
speak-
This was given
willing
by
and
Dr.
smart enough
Oz
to
and
answer
Bobby,
a
and
real
I,
question?
wasn't
No.
sure whether or not I
He is
loved the
not.
idea, but they said
He is
we want to use
not.
TrumpRx.gov is what it is, and it's the hottest site I think anywhere on the planet.
Hottest
from
site
what I
on the
understand,
planet.
Bobby, right?
Hottest site on the
It's really
planet.
great. People are calling up and they're
this
buying
side of
drugs
the
for a
planet.
fraction, for literally a fraction of the price. And it should be the biggest story. And on that alone, we should win the midterms. On that alone, we should win the midterms.
Yeah, everybody's on a Medicare site called TrumpRx.com. Nobody's on the NBA.com site trying to figure out if the Knicks are winning the finale or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
But the press
No,
doesn't
no,
talk
how does-
about it. It's the
how
biggest
does
thing to
that
happen
in
in
the
the drug
globe?
industry ever, man.
Nobody's looking up the
Ever.
fucking
And the press doesn't
World
even
Cup
wanna
this
write
summer.
stories
No,
about
no.
it. We made the largest
Wanna
ever
know how we
investment in U.S.
continue to
military,
support a
$1 trillion,
party
and
that's
we're
driven
asking
three
actually
states
for
into dirt,
1.5
California,
trillion
Michigan,
for
and
the
New
coming
York.
year. And we have the strongest military anywhere in the world, as you know. You saw what we
Saving
did
lives
with
and making prescription drugs affordable.
Venezuela. That worked out very quickly.
That
And
is.
we're doing really equally as well with, but again, people don't want to write about it, with Iran. Iran is very much intent. They want very much to make a deal. So far, they haven't gotten there. We're not satisfied with it, but we will be. We will be either that or we'll have to just finish the job.
I can't believe Trump
But
is
the
awake.
Navy is gone, as I've said 1,000 times. Their Navy is gone. Their Air
Just
Force is
leave.
gone. Everything's gone, and
It's all
they're
gone.
negotiating on fumes. But we'll see what happens.
Well,
Maybe
they
we
are
have to
still
go back and
negotiating, so
finish
it's
it.
not
Maybe
all
we don't.
gone, is it?
Right now,
Not all gone.
I mean, you can speak to Steve Witkoff and Jared. They're doing a good job. But right now, I think It looks like they want to just make a deal. They want to. They have. I don't think they have a choice. They're just going back to the internet because they're getting clobbered. Their economy is in free fall.
Tucker, 2028.
They have 250%
Maybe.
inflation. Their money
Said
has
he
no
doesn't want
value.
to, though.
Their whole
lot of
economic
headache.
system is broken down.
A lot of people that don't want to. Yeah, not a single liberal has been able to answer that question for me. Won the war again. That's your answer. Leave. What's your hard drive? Ticker Carlson. Hell yeah. All right, guys. We're 15 minutes in now, and let's double check in on that poll again. And Marco Rubio still staying strong. Oh, he's tied with J.D. Vance. It might be a runoff between Marco Rubio and J.D. Vance today. 1,600 so far in the chat. Let's check back in on Mr. Gavin Newsom.
I am grateful that we are standing in this moment today to protect the integrity of our elections. I'm grateful to the governor, to the pro tem, to the speaker, and to my legislative colleagues for meeting this moment with urgency and meeting this moment with resolve.
I appreciate it, Senator. Thank you, all of you, for your leadership in this space. As I noted, this is not the
Stone Age Iran.
final word on election integrity. Quite the contrary. We signaled in the May revise our ongoing negotiations and conversations around providing more resources, not just for the June ballot, but obviously for the November ballot. And those conversations continue to be extraordinarily productive. As I hinted a moment ago, and Senator Cervantes in particular, among others, have other election bills that are teeing up, that are being negotiated, amended
Trump
in
is
real
simply a
time. We've been
complete
monitoring
joke,
and
hasn't
watching
got a
those
clue about
as well.
squat,
This
and
one is
let's
a
face it,
first
without Daddy's money,
good
he's still
bill
been a
designed
virgin.
on the basis of two things. One, it goes in effect immediately upon my signature, number one. So in many ways, it addresses some of the anxieties around next Tuesday's election. Does it address all the issues in the past? No, and that's an inevitable question, and obviously that was part of the debate. I don't want to overstate it with this, quote-unquote, have stopped what happened with an individual in Riverside County. Not necessarily, though there are aspects and component parts that certainly would make it more difficult and wouldn't require necessarily the clarification of the
Just hit
state
100.
Supreme
Let's
Court
make sure to double tap. Hit that like button,
ultimately
guys.
ended
Get more
the
people
abuse
into the chat.
in Riverside County
it
with those
going.
650,000 ballots, and that is certainly that clarity is going to get benefited because of the legislation. This
Trump
is
will be going
about
soon?
sending information out with clarity, drawing
What's
a
that
line in terms of what you can and cannot do as it relates to the registrars coming out of the DOJ, the AG's office, which is important. That clarification is important. It addresses the issue of peace officers and any prospect of intimidation, addresses the issues, as was suggested, around chain of custody. And so I think it's an important group of specific provisions and part of what will be a mosaic of grouped legislation to address the legitimate anxiety that is out there. And I say legitimate, and forgive me, would be remiss if I didn't just briefly remind you of the legitimate reasons that we need to do this. I'll remind you that Prop 50, which was the election in question in terms of the Riverside County ballots, that was kicked off at the Democracy Center, of all places, in Little Tokyo in Los Angeles. And as we entered the building, there were masked men in front of the rally to kick off the campaign that ultimately became Proposition 50, the redistricting campaign. Those masked men were led by someone by the name of Greg Bovino. We said at the time, by the way, none of them were necessarily identified. And there was no ID. There was, as I suggest, masked men, with the exception of Bovino, who was certainly looking forward to engaging all of you and preening. We said at the time was a preview of things to come. He became a household name. Ultimately was fired by the Trump administration, retired after his antics that led to the deaths of two people in Minnesota, and of course antics that were extended all across the United States. Of course, that happened after the federalization of the National Guard. 4,000 National Guard were federalized, 700 active duty Marines were sent not overseas, but to the second largest city in the United States of America. We said at the time that was a preview of things to come as well. Of course, we saw that played out in the streets of D.C., Illinois, and elsewhere. And we make this point to make the point that needs to be made. This is all happening in open sight. What happens is it's a stacking. It's not the one act it's the sum total of all of these things happening. There's a pattern.
How can you trust anyone
that's what this legislation begins to address. A pattern of actions. That pattern, by the way, unfolded in primarily blue states where the Trump administration tried to access the voting rolls of our states. If not for the courts and the state of mind of the attorney generals and governors in those states, he likely would have had access to that. He's trying to vandalize trust as it relates to vote by mail and so many other categories. With the SAVE Act is trying to even make it more difficult to register, which is not just about voter ID, that act, it's about registration and deciding who and who cannot vote. All of these are consistent with the phone call. The origin story here that he made to Greg Abbott, saying he's entitled to 5 seats in an effort to rig
Wagner,
the election before one vote is cast
Treason is
before
a bitch,
November.
Gavin,
And we're seeing that played out all across
Everyone
this
is
country now
your
after
shit.
the Supreme Court decision
And
on the
what do you
Voting
have
Rights
to
Act,
say about
Section
Newsom,
2, and
who's running
none
for
more golf.
California into the ground? Boo-hoo. MAGA and the Republicans went down a rabbit hole following Trump's bullshit. This guy is full of shit. Something, I don't know, it disappeared on me. A fresh male tampon from Tampon Tim. All right, guys. Let's double check. Let's check in on that poll again. We're now 24 minutes in to 119 votes. And right now the runoff would still be J.D. Vance in the lead. If we do go to a second vote, the runoff will go from J.D. Vance to Marco Rubio as well. Wow. All right. Back to Daddy Trump.
They thought they were going to outweight me. You know, we'll outweigh him. He's got the midterms. I don't care about
Democrats
the midterms.
only
Look what
pay
happened
to
last
cry
night.
watch
That
me
was
bad.
the prelude to the midterms. People understand it. They know that. Very simple. Iran cannot have a
Baseball's
nuclear
like
weapon. I'm
German
doing that for the
women
world. I'm not
that
doing
don't
it just for
always
us.
love you back.
And we've had great support from other
Well, don't
nations,
answer
by the
me.
way. We don't need it at all, but we've had great support from other nations. The problem is you always get the support when you
Or
don't
are
need
you
it. When you
too
need
much
it, you
of a
don't get the
coward?
support. With Operation Epic Fury, our warriors are ensuring that the world's #1 state sponsor of terror never obtains a nuclear weapon, and they won't. Under the leadership of Vice President J.D. Vance, very proud of this, the White House Task Force to eliminate fraud is waging war on waste, fraud,
How
theft,
can you
and
support a
abuse
party
like
that has
nobody's
given
ever seen
California,
before?
New York, and Michigan all
He looks like
into the
Elliot
ground?
Ness. Do you ever see Elliot Ness? I'm telling you, the guys that are up there are all central casting, standing behind. What a group of people. No, it looks like a movie. I'm going to make a movie out of it, I think. And they're finding billions and billions and billions of dollars. And I just said, that's good. He said, you haven't seen anything yet. Just said that. And, you know, if he does really great, we'll have a
Senator
balanced
Todd's?
budget without having to do anything. This is the kind of money they stole.
When is the Democrats,
They're
Congress
crooks.
people?
They're thieves, and I hope
be put
that
in
Todd is
handcuffs
going to
as
do a
well,
real
yeah.
job. These are crooked people. These are thieves. This isn't like a mistake. Just talking about one person, he got hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars for securing one man, for taking care of one elderly man. He was a service. He got paid millions of dollars for taking care of one man. Total crook. They're all crooks. The Somalians, what they've done to Minnesota, the
Imagine idolizing a
Somalians,
guy that half the world thinks is
They're
a pedophile.
crooked as
Pretty much
hell.
idolizing any man,
Elon Omar, crooked
Whichever
as hell.
man.
They're all crooks.
right?
And we got them. We got them. Now we're putting the clamps on, but
Returning
boy,
to
I tell you,
bread,
that's an
Somali
impressive
pirate
group of
much? Nope.
guys that
Sorry,
you have
bye-bye.
behind you.
Ha, ha,
I was
ha,
watching
ha,
that,
ha.
and a couple of very strong women, too. But I was watching that last night. I said, I'm proud of you guys. In 2 months, we've exposed tens of billions of dollars of defrauded taxpayer money, prosecuted numerous fraudsters, Todd, and stopped billions of suspicious payments, very suspicious. Oh, you haven't seen anything yet? Well, you see, I'm getting reports from Todd, from JD. I've never seen anything like it. The kind of, just hundreds of billions of dollars was stolen. And no other administration would do what we're doing. Just let it go. Everybody was getting rich. And I think we have a chance to save Social Security without doing anything to it by just the numbers of fraudulent people on Social Security, people that are 115 years old, 125 years old, getting payments It's funny, I said, oh, do those payments get turned back? No, they accept them. Well, somebody's getting the payment. It's not a person that's 125 years old.
Minnesota?
But that's the least of it. The numbers that we're finding out, we have great people in Social Security. We're going to make our Social Security so strong, so good that you've never seen anything like it. We're going to protect. I said right from the beginning, we're going to protect our people in Social Security. If the Democrats ever got in, you wouldn't have Social Security would be bankrupt. People wouldn't be getting anything. Last week, they took down 2 of the largest Medicaid fraud cases in Minnesota history, as well as the largest autism fraud case ever charged by the federal government. You saw that with millions of dollars just being stolen. Everybody had autism. Everybody had autism, they said.
Peter. Such a
was
lie.
incredible,
Nobody
actually.
125-year-old.
And I mean, I've just seen I see what they're doing. You haven't seen anything yet. So congratulations, JD. Be vicious like they are. They're violent people. They're violent, vicious scum.
Back above 100. Make sure you double
Before
tap.
asking
Hit that
Vice
like button,
President
guys.
Vance to
Spawn people
speak
into
about
equation.
these efforts, I want to express our
stealing my
tremendous
grandpa's hats
gratitude
out?
to our outgoing Director of National
This
Intelligence,
is my favorite
Tulsi
hat.
Gabbard,
Going down.
who's a
Favorite
terrific
hat.
person, actually.
Especially for when I'm fat. It rounds my face.
Come up with some findings that were pretty good. And Tulsi's worked tirelessly to restore trust and focus on the intelligence and with the intelligence community. They all respected her. They listened to her. She gave us leads that were pretty much, people thought they were dead and they weren't dead. They were right there. And she was able to expose a lot of things that we used at the FBI with Cash and with Todd and with JD and everybody else. It was amazing.
Yeah.
She dramatically reformed the Office of Director of National Intelligence, cutting the staff by 40%.
You notice how many times one of the
countless
Democrats in the chat gets asked a serious question they ignore completely? Absolutely. It's funny how the Epstein files, Joe Biden had him the whole time, and you guys didn't say anything. Your poll, hopefully none of the above. Josh Shapiro, Pete Buttigieg would be good ticket. Yeah, gay on gay. Crime would be a really good ticket. Clinton Stein files by leaking her meeting in ChatGPT. Creepy Joe showers with Ashley. Yeah, sad. All right, guys. Let's check in on our poll again today. Make sure you double tap, hit that like button, hit subscribe. Send more people into the poll of the day. 170 votes in, 30 minutes into our poll. Right now, our top 2 are JD Vance and Marco Rubio. And JD Vance, taking it away. 3,600 in the chat. 30 minutes left. Right now, we are not on par to be getting the second hour. We might be playing some video games, though, instead. Here's some nuisance again.
Than what Governor Landry did and is doing in Louisiana, where he suspended an election that was already underway,
Rubio,
where tens of thousands of voters had already voted. Suspended the election by declaring an emergency for the intended purpose of eliminating black representation in his state.
Biden is
Jim
the
Crow
president, so every
2.0.
time you him at
These
the
guys are
expense,
not screwing around.
Jim
They're
Crow
ruthless.
2.0.
So it's in that spirit that I'm signing this. Sober about what we're up against. Sober about the fact that acolytes for the Trump administration are actively encouraging ICE to go out, just as ICE did on Election Day last November. The BORTAC teams, Border Patrol and ICE, the morning of the election last November, big press conference near Dodger Stadium to intimidate free expression and vote. It was exactly what Steve Bannon encouraged and said you'll see more of. It's exactly what the new Homeland Security Secretary suggested he won't rule out.
Republicans only, Jesus Smith.
And that's why we have to step up and we have to draw the line. We have to clarify the rules of engagement. That's why this legislation, long-windedly, is important.
That's good.
There are fines associated with this, criminal fines.
Just an
and jail time.
excursion. Don't worry,
3 years.
just an excursion.
So, that's a warning to the folks out there that think they can do the bidding of the Trump administration. And so eyes
Newsom
wide
is
open.
a
Trump himself,
treacherous
just last week, said yet again
a
that he won the
POS
election
loser,
in California.
How is your stock portfolio, Chief? Newsom is
Can't even make that one up. I'm not talking
wrong on
about
that
January
one.
6th. The fact he pardoned all those folks that were beating up cops
Yourself forever.
and absolved
Jesus
them,
is a bitch.
providing them
You forever.
$1.776 billion. So not only you get a pardon, you get rewarded. Private army with ICE, private army of protesters. Stand up, stand back, as needed. That's why this is needed, and I'm very grateful for the leadership of all of you, and honored to sign this important legislation, which now officially goes in effect right when you submit to this to the Secretary of State, actually. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for this legislation. Thank you.
Stop trolling woke liberals. Josh Shapiro has been married 30 years for children.
What happens between now and
Your
then?
stepbrother, you're Trump's favorite, the uneducated, Newsom destroys California, Trump forever,
Will that
President
happen
Newsom
before
for wood
election day,
chipping.
and what is that guidance going to be?
Well, we've given a number. And thank you for just opening the door a little bit, and forgive me, just an adjacent point, because we've been providing just on the natural guidance to our registrars as it relates to timely ballot counting. You know the new rules that went into effect to get these things counted within 13 days, not 30 days. So there's been a lot of outreach, but this formalizes that outreach through the Department of Justice and allows them to move forward. This has all been anticipated, this moment, and certainly been part of the conversation. We could talk a little bit more about what the actions you expect to see, particularly from your vantage point, having served on the ground, in terms of what your expectations are next Tuesday.
Yeah, no, election officials are ready. They are well trained, and they work very closely with their local law enforcement and the Secretary of State's office and the Attorney General's office to ensure a fair, transparent, accessible, and secure election for everyone.
Governor, you've called on
Newsom
counties
drinks the top of the beer barrel.
Yeah.
to
Trump
make sure that
2028,
results are
0-10.
to nip any misinformation in the bud. That takes resources. And I know that advocates have asked for about, I think it's $55 million. I know that Assemblymember Pellerin has asked for money to educate voters on getting ballots in early. Is that money going to show up in the budget?
Yeah, that's exactly what I opened up with as it relates to the conversation that we seated in the May revise. There was actual language in the budget about those negotiations, which are ongoing. We're in the middle of the budget negotiations, as you know, middle of a lot of negotiations, including a lot of the ballots that are likely to otherwise end up on the November. A lot of negotiations, but that is a foundational negotiation that continues, and it's very, very positive, and we're going to land on a number very, very shortly.
Governor, the Trump administration is talking more and more about potentially pulling customs and border patrols.
All right, let's see where we're at right now. Checking in on our poll again. 186 votes, 204 votes in 36 minutes into our poll. And J.D. Vance is still ahead, with Marco Rubio in second place still. 4,500 in. Back to Daddy Trump.
Terrorists and cartel members from entering the United States. She exposed mountains of evidence related to the Russia hoax, probably the greatest hoax in the history of our country. Although, when you look at the fraud coming out, there's a lot of them. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of them. But the Russia hoax, a great hoax, a very dangerous hoax too, and revoked security clearances of officials involved, and she declassified numerous historic documents of special public interest, including related to the JFK and RFK assassinations, which everybody wanted
Trump
to
appointing
see.
the
And
Republicans
we're
is
now
going to be
releasing
like
a lot
Democrats
of
appointing
things
Kamala
having to do with space. It's people are very interested in it. It actually became the number one topic. We're releasing a lot of information having to do with extraterrestrial things, and people are totally fascinated by it. It's amazing.
Extraterrestrial. Bro, he's bro is an alien. He can't say extraterrestrial. Extraterrestrian. Extraterrestrian stuff that we're giving out. It's really cool. People
Literally
care.
trending number one.
Trending number one. Wow.
So a lot of people out there are like it, but we're releasing all of that information. And Tulsi, we're praying for you and for your husband. Your husband's not feeling great, but he's going to feel great soon. You're going to make him. You're going to get him better. And he's a wonderful guy. So just say hello and thank you for the great work you've done. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. And now I'd like to ask JD to say a few words about the war on fraud, followed by Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche, who's doing fantastically, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio, another one. I mean, we have great people.
Extra testicles.
And the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, Central Casting.
Extra testicles.
He loves war. I don't like it. He's a good man.
Loves war. Bro, chill out.
Scott Bessent, you talk about a guy doing a job. Been fantastic. Thank you, Scott. Really fantastic.
I love Ronald Reagan, but I love President Trump more.
A lot of the success that we're having with other countries is what you've been able to do.
Wait 3 hours.
And SBA Administrator Kelly Loeffler and all of the people here have been great. We're going to just do those few, and maybe if you have some questions, we'll go to others. But everybody around here has got a lot to say. But we did that once, and it lasted like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, it is.
It was a little much. We wanted to open. So now if I do this way, they'll say, he didn't let anybody talk. But let's start with JD, and you can talk about a really, really important thing, bringing our country back to honesty. A tremendous amount of money is involved. Go ahead. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Well, first of all, thank you for your leadership, sir, and for making it possible. I often find in the fraud task force that there sometimes are barriers that we need to break down, agencies that need to coordinate, and I'll come to the president and say, Mr. President, I need your permission to do, he'll say, for what? For the fraud task force, and he'll cut me off and say, yes, go do it. So the fact that we have dedicated presidential leadership is really what's made this possible, because it does require we've got great people around the table, but sometimes these agencies don't know how to work together at the lower level, and that's one of the things we've had to turn on and force with the fraud task force. So I want to shout out just a few all-stars here. Linda at the Department of Education has been amazing at finding student loan fraud. You've got people who are either illegal aliens or aren't even actually real human beings who are getting hundreds of millions of dollars from the Department of Education for student loans. We have cut that off. We found a lot. We're going to find a lot more. Scott at HUD has been amazing, because a lot of the fraud that we see is housing fraud, people claiming benefits that they're not entitled to, or again, sir, sometimes completely made up people who exist purely to collect fraudulent money from the American taxpayer. Brooke at the Department of Agriculture, something I had no idea until I started this work, sir, that we send hundreds of billions of dollars to the states to administer the food stamp program. The federal government has no insight into whether...
Fun fact. That is Gavin Newsom's ex-wife.
Whether those food stamps are going to people who are legally entitled, or whether those people actually even exist. And so we're working on a number of mechanisms to actually force the states to verify that the people who receive these benefits are actually entitled to them. And I could go down the list. I've gotten a lot of support from a lot of people in this room. Bobby Kennedy and Dr. Oz have been particular all-stars on this, and Kim at H&HS. What they've done with the Medicaid fraud, we found tens of billions of dollars in Medicaid and Medicare fraud just from their hard work. We've cut that off, and yes, Mr. President, we're going to find a lot more. The final thing I want to say, Mr. President, and I know that Todd maybe has something to say about this as well, but I always try to remind the American people, and certainly remind the cabinet officials. By the way, Kelly at SBA has found tens of billions of dollars that were from fraudulent loans that were giving under the Biden administration, and we've now cut that off and recovered a lot of that money. So this has been a whole of government effort, Mr. President. The team really deserves a great deal of credit here. But the final point I want to make, sir, is I always try to remind...
All right. So right now, looking back in our poll again, guys, make sure you double tap, hit that like button, hit subscribe. We do this 7 days a week, at least an hour a day. If we go past an hour, it's because we hit 10,000. Right now we're at 5,000. About a half an hour in. 29 minutes left in our poll of the day. 239 votes in, and J.D. Vance is winning. But Marco Rubio is that second place, which is the first time that's ever happened. Back to Newsom.
In sanctuary cities, LAX, SFO, potentially SMF would be impacted. Apparently this morning, the DHS Secretary said that this is something they're looking at doing. No formal proposal yet, but just here.
Look, I mean, there's no rules anymore with the Trump administration, and and we have to be prepared for everything. And again, we talk about California. The future happens here first. It tends to, as it relates to Trump trying to exercise this sort of unitary theory of government, and had not been for the courts and the court of public opinion, he would have gone a lot farther than he has. And so we'll continue to anticipate that he's going to test the boundaries of that kind of authority. He's got a lot of authority as President of the United States as it relates to those federal resources. And we're mindful that even under sanctuary policy of those rules and regulations that are uniquely federal in the context of not getting in the way of federal operations with federal funds based on federal rules and federal regulations. At the same time, we draw the line and have drawn up plenty of documents to litigate on a lot of these issues. So we'll see what ultimately transpires. But I listened a little bit at the cabinet meeting today, and they're sort of ginning up the anxiety. They're going to gin up more fear about ICE this summer. You heard even from the Secretary of War talking about using the National Guard again this summer.
Every time
so that immediately initiated, unsurprisingly,
Yeah,
another conversation with our
about
team,
him, right?
our legal team, looking at previous legal, the adjudication from the federal courts and looking at our legal strategies to prepare. And so that's the mindset, one of vigilance.
Governor, on the topic of ICE, on the Assembly floor
He
today,
needs
there's
more
a
hair,
packet
Joe.
of immigration-related bills that are being discussed.
Newsom
Harris, there's a whole lot to specify each of them for you, but I'm curious, are you on board with the package? Are those bills you would support?
I mean, 1,000 bills, and so I always cautious at this stage of the process. But directionally, obviously, we've done a lot in this space. Some we've been very successful, nation-leading efforts. Some the courts put a pause on, particularly around masking, where California is the first. So directionally, I certainly have been very engaged with the legislature for many, many years. I'm very grateful to the legislative leadership in this space, and I think many other states look to California's leadership on these bills, and so I'm also mindful of that, directionally speaking.
As the election approaches, in your mind, what's more dangerous, some of these tangible threats that you're preparing for, or the type of disinformation leading to questions about the integrity of our election process itself?
Well, it's the whole thing. As I say about Trump all the time, he's an invasive species. We've never been up against something like this, and he's just not. He's just winding up. I mean, he doesn't believe in fair and free elections. He believes in competitive authoritarianism. He wants an outcome along the lines of Putin. 87.3% to 4.3%. That's a fair and free election from Trump's perspective, and he's become so delusional that I think he's almost starting to believe
Donkey Kong
in his
Cali
own BS
is a shithole.
about winning all these elections, and he won in California, and he won
keep all the cash cow fraud scams going. Is that way
it's madness.
Everybody's leaving at the fastest
it's
they can?
madness. It's madness.
It's madness.
And everyone around him knows it. I think the question is who's where the hell is his cabinet? They're complicit. I mean, this is a guy that I don't have to remind you guys of the obvious. I mean, he went into Fulton County with the FBI. He was celebrating the old DNI. She's now been fired, quit, Tulsi Gabbard, but she was down there in Fulton County. I mean, this is the backdrop. This is reality. This happened. Try to light democracy on fire. Try to wreck this country after January 6th. Just pardon all the participants of that.
Interfering with hearing others and stop being a jerk, like Trump sending a plane to go over while victims spoke to drown them out. Shameful. What kind of fucking weirdo are you? Just go watch the speech yourself then. Every time his mouth moves, lies fall out, more BS, yep. Two of the worst people to ever be elected to office would be Harris and Vance. Put the two of them together on the same ticket on a national level, it would be the end of the United States of America. All of the taxes and nothing to show for it. Spencer is coming. Spencer is coming. What a liar. I miss the 90s. I hope he runs for POTUS in 28. Vance Rubio will beat him like a drum.
Just gave them $1.8 billion slush fund. That actually happened. He has seized the ballot and is trying to take over what's going on in Fulton County, one of the most critical swing districts in the United States of America. He sent the FBI. He didn't have to get a guy who was a former member of the Oath Keepers in Riverside to do it for him. He sent the FBI and the DNI down there for that. This is happening. It's happening. Every day he's attacking truth, and trust. So yeah, I'm concerned about all of it. What's happening with AI? It's happening in all these elections. We've passed bills
what he's done
in this around deep fakes.
1/3 of American healthcare
it's
funding goes
the panoply
to
of everything. He's desperate. His back's against the wall. And when you're desperate, your back's against the wall, you're prone to do anything. And so he is just.
You're going to do anything. Anyway, let's look back into our poll again right now. 47 minutes, 13 minutes left to go, 6,000 on our view counter, and we are 276 votes in. J.D. Vance running away with it, but still Marco Rubio above Gavin Newsom today, which is kind of shocking, to be honest.
The American people, that fraud is fundamentally a crime with two victims. The most obvious victim are the American taxpayer. They pay their taxes, they expect the money to go where it should go, and that's not happening because of the fraudsters. But there are also victims, people who benefit from these programs that don't exist if we're not actually taking care of the fraud issue. And let me just give one example to build on something you said earlier, sir. One of the people that Todd just prosecuted was a person who was collecting a lot of money from the American taxpayer to take care of elderly citizens, people who worked their entire lives, paid their taxes, should have had dignity and nobility in old age, but it was deprived from them from fraudsters who say that they're taking care of them, who collect a check to take care of them, but then abuse and neglect these people. And particularly one man who died because he wasn't getting adequate care, and that guy was still collecting benefits to take care of a person who he had completely neglected. So not only do you have an American taxpayer who's paying into these programs, you have an elderly citizen deprived of his dignity because we're not going after the fraudsters. Well, now we are.
How much money did he get?
Sir, hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe more than that, but we think that that exact type of fraud has been replayed all over our country. That particular case was outside of Minneapolis. We expect that there are tens of thousands of people who are collecting fraudulent money to take care of people, and they're not actually taking care of them. We're, of course, going to get to the root of as much of it as we can. But again, sir, it's been, I wouldn't say fun, because you find out how much people have been taken advantage of, but it's certainly very good and valuable work. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to do it.
Well, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Attorney General, please.
I'll just to continue to talk about what the Vice President was just talking about. The way that we are actually, it's one thing to uncover fraud, which we've done, and that's part of it, but it's also prosecuting the bad guys that are doing it and stopping it from continuing. And that's pretty bad. Everybody in this room has inspector generals. And for many years, these really hardworking law enforcement members would identify fraud, and nobody did anything about it. DOJ prosecuted it, but spent very little resources on that. So what we've done just in the past 51 days, over 400 law enforcement actions in this country related to major fraud. That's search warrants, that's arrests, that's convictions, that's indictments that are filed, and that's just 51 days. And it's not just the great prosecutors. It's the FBI agents, it's DHS and HSI agents. It's everybody in this room that has inspector generals that are now they have been freed up, and it's because of you. It's because of the Vice President saying this is going to be a priority of what we are going to do, not just the Department of Justice. Even though we're the prosecutors that are putting bad guys in jail, it's also the law enforcement at every agency, FBI and DHS. And so we're already seeing results. We had a $1 billion fraud, a conviction at trial last week out of Florida. And this was an organization that was stealing from senior citizens in Florida, duping them. There were call centers set up in the Philippines, and they were duping them to buy medical equipment that they didn't need, that they would never get, and that the taxpayers paid for. And so that's a good win. We arrested 15 guys in Minnesota last week. The Vice President mentioned one of them. These are people that are not, they're just stealing, and many of them are here illegally. And so you have people who are in this country illegally who are then taking advantage, and the Vice President says something a lot that resonates with me. The generosity of the American people, the generosity of everybody in this room, the leadership, to take care of the people in this country that are the most, that deserve it the most. Children who are supposed to get food at school, and you have men just stealing, taking that money. And so that's what we're focused on. We are standing up, as you know, Mr. President, you allowed us to stand up a new division at the Department of Justice. It's our entire existence of that division is to combat what we're talking about. And then every U.S. Attorney's Office is now focused on it as well. So this is something that will result in a better place for every citizen in this country and save money, a lot of money, and also it's the right thing to do for our tax dollars, Mr. President.
And billions of dollars was given out just very quickly before Biden left office. Billions and billions were given out. And I mean, I know of many cases, but one, I don't know what's happened with it, but I think you're looking at it. I know Lee was involved in it environmentally. Stacey Abrams was given $2 billion for an account that had $103 in it, an environmental fraud, I guess. And she had $103 in this newly opened account. And before leaving business, they put $2 billion into the account. And they had no reason for existence. They were unable to say what they did.
That's wild. Anyway, back over to our poll of the day again. We're looking at it. And right now we got 8 minutes left. And we just hit 300 votes. J.D. Vance still sitting pretty as the winner. 6,800 in the chat. Not above the 10,000 we need. Hit those likes if you want to keep the show going. Let's go back to Mr. Newsom.
Winding up.
Governor, sorry, following up on ballot initiatives real quick, are you currently in conversations with UHW and those?
I will say this directly and tonally. We are in conversations with many folks, and I'll just leave it at that. These are we're in conversations with many folks on many. I'll repeat. We're in conversations with many folks on many different topics related to ballots that have qualified. We're also engaged with the legislature, many leaders in the legislature, the leadership in the legislature, many individual leaders that are interested in these negotiations. That's the case almost in every election, and certainly the case here where there's an abundance of initiatives on the ballot. And I'll just leave it at that. Just interestingly got an update on where we are in those negotiations. So I can assure you they're not only being conducted, but robustly, and we're just beginning.
You touched a little bit
Next president there.
The threats from federal leaders on our elections. Do you think those threats are credible? Have you been in touch with them? Should voters expect to see?
Look at this snake.
I expect the worst with Trump because he's done the worst. He's crossed every single line. Again, he federalized the National Guard, sent 700 active duty Marines to L.A., 5,000 troops in the streets of Los Angeles, sent out as masked men to intimidate people. The BORTAC teams, again, these are the guys cosplaying with the Apache helicopters, the whole thing. He said on the day of the election it was rigged. And he sent the Department of Justice, his DOJ, to prove that it was rigged, and then tried to go to the Supreme Court to overturn a fair and free election. That happened. It happened.
Blindly by
it's
stupidity.
happening. You had a guy who's desperate for attention and wants me to use his name.
And
Today
Trump
I
is
won't.
not a criminal?
They took 650,000. That happened. Took the California Supreme Court to stop it on April 18th. That happened.
LA is a drug
it's
den,
happening in
LOL?
Fulton County. I mean, it's extraordinary.
The guy that called Trump Hitler,
And
JD
so,
flip-flopper, who
this
MAGA
is
champions now.
we're pretty
next?
measured here in California, but we're resolved. We're drawing the line.
Newsom
we're
should
holding
be
the line.
opposition
We're winning,
president in
and
the
we
United
are
States.
trying to inspire other
JD,
states
the
to
couchman,
do
will not
similar
win.
efforts.
Audit Newsom immediately.
Fund that you mentioned. Are you looking to take any action on it? Is there anything you can do about that?
Well, I've been
Said he
thinking a
had
lot.
never
I'm
had
not
a
in
job
Congress.
in his
I was
entire
out
government
there in
life.
Washington, D.C., trying to make a case
Zero
anew.
personality, pretty much.
And some good
Financial
meetings with
issues, yes.
EPA. Lee
No,
Zeldin's
you're not stupid.
I want to
Paul
get him fired.
MAGA are perfect. America first. Newsom stole millions.
His team's working hard
It's over.
to see what we can do to help the victims of last year's fires in Los Angeles. And so I was up there around the time when legislative leaders were all,
double tap, get those likes in, guys.
discussing what the options were. And so I've been
Get the
thinking a lot
people
about
in
it. And
the
I
poll.
fly back.
When you
And
like
one
the
thing that I
stream,
think we're going
more
to
people
try
are
to
saying
do with
into
your
the poll, into the
support is
algorithm, into the
tax
feed.
100%. Anyone from California that receives any
Feed the
of those
conversation.
funds, we want to tax 100% of those proceeds. And that's an action the state of California can take. It's an
Newsom,
action we
the
look
liberal
forward to
president of
taking.
the United
Governor,
States.
still no endorsement in the governor's race, is that correct? 60
A
in the primary.
lot of endorsements out there, so no, there are many of them. You mean mine? That's different. Yeah, no, I'm the
California
Jerry
reached many
Brown of this
billions
cycle.
on the-
On this, and maybe this might be for
Have you read the Constitution, but not
the
never
sheriff of Riverside
question
County,
alpha
I'm just
dribble?
going to quote him here. He has said that he launched this investigation
Democrats
because
been
there's a
robbing for
discrepancy
50
in
years.
the number of votes counted versus processed. And so how would you explain why that
GF
showed up? Because he's claiming that elections officials there did not give him an answer.
Well, I mean, I could.
Sure.
Well, I just want to say, first of all, that ballots can be subject to inspection. They have to remain in the custody of the elections official. So if he has questions about how the ballots were
Almost in the
counted
LA
or wants
is out of
them
control.
recounted, that can be done
White
as
Door
long as the ballots
2024.
remain in the custody of the elections
Maggots
official
are
and that work is
cowards.
done by them. And that happens every now and then.
So I actually read the warrant. If you read the warrant, you saw that there was actually no
Hey, Hawk,
crime
you think
alleged,
you're
which
better than
makes it
President
deficient
Spider-Man?
on its face. And it
Mega
also
Red
has
State
no
never have homelessness.
ostensible, reliable
junior
information.
high,
So when you
I
say that
graduated
there
from
was
Reed.
inaccurate, or excuse me, that the vote counts were different between those ballots that were cast and those that were issued and those kinds of things, it's just not, the whole thing
Give me
was
a
not
break.
credible. It was a farce.
Red states are the
And
biggest.
just to
welfare
further add
bills.
on, because of the chain of custody.
All right, let's look at that poll again. Got 3 minutes left in the poll, guys. 331 votes. JD still sitting pretty. 7,500 in the live chat. Just hit an hour. Did not get past there, so we will be going to video
$2 billion
games. soon.
lead. You want to just mention something about
Let's run this off. Last five.
Thanks to your leadership, Mr. President, that was canceled. And they no longer have access to that $2 billion.
They fought like hell. They wanted that money. Go
In
ahead.
fact, it was
But you don't care
over
about red
$29 billion
states. We only like to
that
judge
have
blue
now,
states
it's now
to
been canceled
the
at
flag.
EPA. You told us to make it a priority. This happened as soon as you came in. After the election, before your inauguration, they were caught on video saying that they were rushing to get billions of dollars out the door before you're swearing in because they were afraid that once you were sworn in, you were going to stop it. Well, that part they were right.
We did. Yeah, we did. Great
And
job.
yeah, no, we're happy to do it, Mr. President. And the Department of Justice under Todd Blanche's leadership, they just secured another big win in the appeals court on some recently canceled grants for different agencies. So great attorneys making sure that this accountability
Red
is
states don't deserve
is
to
delivered
survive
over the
if they're
finish
leeching
line.
off
It's
of blue
been a big,
states.
great team
Back
effort.
to Newsom.
And we're building more, most importantly, we're building more factories and plants in the United
We
States
will in a
now
minute.
than at any time ever before. $18 trillion coming in. That's not including the 12th month, that's 11. And I say it often that the Biden administration had much less than
Maggots
1
don't
trillion,
even
and we have
know what a
18
woman
trillion.
is. Ha, ha, ha.
And when those final numbers come up, they'll be even higher than that. That's a record in the history of the world. No country has ever done that. And that money's
An
going into
embarrassment,
plants,
this
and
cabinet.
you are giving them very fast
my God, what
approvals,
red state is
thorough,
leeching
and
off
environmentally
blue
correct,
states?
but fast approvals. And you're doing a fantastic
Hello.
job. Thank you very much. Another man doing a fantastic job, I think we all agree, is Marco. You're all over the place, right? I watched you last night at 3 different locations.
Ball-looking
So
contest.
tell us about Iran.
Trump busted out
Well,
of
first
good
of all,
old,
the bottom line is Iran's never
woman
going to have a
smart
nuclear
insult,
weapon.
very
And
impressive
if recent
call.
events have done
Iran
anything, is
State
just remind
Force.
us once again that they are the world's leading sponsor of terrorism. And they can never have a nuclear weapon. Now, the president's preference, Mr. President, your preference is told us repeatedly, is always to negotiate
there's any
these things and to
states
figure out if
reaching
you can
out for
have
red
agreements. Diplomacy is always the first option. And we continue to work on that through your envoys, Mr. Woodcock and Kushner and others, the vice president, who've been very involved. And if there's an agreement to be made, we want that to be made. I think there's been some progress and some interest, and we'll see over the next few hours and days whether progress could be made. I just want to remind everybody, Mr. President, you know this well, you have other options available to you if that doesn't work. But the bottom line is that we prefer the negotiated diplomatic route, and we're going to give it every chance to succeed. I know you're giving it every chance to succeed, Mr. President. But here's the bottom line, because I keep getting asked, what is this all about? It's very simple. Iran and these people in charge of Iran can never have a nuclear weapon, and they will never have a nuclear weapon, and they
Yeah,
most
the
certainly will
cabinet.
not have one as long as you're President of the United States. On that
Red
point, it's
states
very
are all
clear.
perfect.
Just
Most
two quick things I want to touch
education,
upon.
most
One, you
wealthy,
touched upon the
no
border
violence.
and security. Part of
President Newsom
securing our
started
border
wars.
is dealing with the people that are in
Newsom's not
this
gonna
country
start a war?
unlawfully, many of whom do not want to go
Wow.
back to the country that they originally came from for a variety of reasons. Either we can't send them there, or some judge ties us up. And one of the
Red
key
states are
things
the
we have
worst to
achieved
ever,
is
in every
now
metric.
20 countries have signed third country national
Jeez,
agreements,
maybe the
meaning these are
red,
safe
read
countries
a little.
where individuals who refuse to go back to their country of origin can be sent to that country instead. We've gotten 20 countries now around the world who have signed agreements that allow us to deport people to those places. What often happens when you go to the person who's here unlawfully and say, we're going to send you to this third country, is all of a sudden they decide they'd rather go back to their home country instead. So it gives the ability to enforce our laws, and we work very closely with the Department of Homeland Security on that front. Something else that I know is concerning people, because it's on the news, is Ebola. Our number one obligation, we're involved in foreign policy, but even our foreign policy, the number one priority of our foreign policy is to protect the American people. We cannot and will not allow any cases of Ebola to enter the United States. So the State Department and other agencies represented here, the Centers for Disease Control, HHS, others, are working very, very hard to contain this crisis to the countries where it's currently located, particularly the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And so we've surged assistance to make sure that is being contained there. And obviously, multiple agencies involved here are also very involved in tracking people, just to make sure that nobody comes into this country that has Ebola and creates a problem for us. And we feel like we've got good efforts in place to do that, and Americans should feel assured that the President and his administration is doing everything we can to protect them on that front. My last point, said I was all over the place. One of the places I stopped in last night was to initial the Trump Route for Prosperity in Armenia. This is a key linchpin of the peace deal that you were able to achieve between Armenia and Azerbaijan. And in addition to that, we also signed
it. Sounds like Rubio's running the government, or all of the good parts of the government anyway. Backing on our poll, we're at the end of our poll now. We just ended it. And look at that. For the first time ever, Newsom does not go to the runoff. For the first time ever, Newsom does not go to the runoff. We will do a runoff tonight, people, because I want to see what happens. Who will be president in 2028? Day 28? Day 28 of poll. And we have J.D. Vance with 20 wins. And we have Marco Rubio with 1 win. That's it, guys. Who's it gonna be tonight? Who's it gonna be tonight? Back to Newsom.
That was broken. Those ballots are now entirely compromised, and along with that, this is unlike any other case where we've ever seen, because it's usually the district attorney's office that's handling these investigations. It's not a Riverside County or a county
Newsom's
sheriff.
number 2.
So would this prevent like a
Newsom won 6 times on the show. Just won yesterday on the show.
No, the court order, that's separate and above. That's not addressed.
I think people are
specifically
listening to him today and they don't
but
want to
chain
vote
of
for him.
custody issues are. And obviously, we don't have to go back through the clarification process that the Supreme Court ultimately advanced in this respect. So it addresses those issues. That's why I suggest it doesn't resolve all of those outstanding issues, but certainly directionally addresses some of them. And every single thing that Donald Trump is saying only suggests that he will do more, not less, to intimidate and to impact the outcome of this election. He's just winding up. So I absolutely expect the worst again, because we've been on the receiving end of it over and over and over again.
Newsom, Republicans will win hands down. Exactly.
The BORTAC teams were sent out the morning of the election at Dodger Stadium. They did a big show of force. These are the Border Patrol tactical units. And it was a show of force designed to intimidate free expression and free speech. The same morning that on Truth Social, Trump said the election was rigged, and had Department of Justice investigators out there, quote unquote, proving it.
Which is why it's so important for people to vote.
Yeah. So.
I had a question about a different kind of threat, regarding the Garden Grove chemical incident. Do you or other state leaders have concerns about the fact that there's residents living near those areas? And if so, what changes are needed as an investigation?
Well, we were just talking, how about those Orange County firefighters? Talk about rock stars. Talk about bravery. You were just describing some of the images of these guys not knowing what was going to come as they're ripping off layers to address some of the issues of trying to determine what was or was not happening inside that tank in question. So I just hats off to all the first responders, the coordinated response to that, to the residents, 50,000 plus that were displaced and over Memorial Day weekend. So it's the right question. Obviously, all of us are now reviewing and have been in real time the safety records, not only of this site, but looking more broadly at other chemicals and other sites, particularly highlighted by what happened tragically in Washington State as well. As it relates to industrial facilities in around urban centers, that's a longer, that's a more challenging issue of geography. But it only reinforces, in my mind, what we can control, and that is the safety, and make sure that the state EPA and OSHA and others are working collaboratively with our federal partners. I will say I'm concerned, as we all should be, of some of the federal cutbacks to safety investments that have been made over the last year federally and are proposed in the president's new budget, and I hope this tempers that likelihood that they'll move forward with those cuts. I think they should be more robust in terms of those investigations, not less.
But do you believe that more regulation of chemical plants like these is necessary?
That's what I'm suggesting as it relates to the rules and regulations all being reviewed, safety records being reviewed as well.
There will be legislation.
You're already working on it.
And these are tightening it further.
Hey guys, your poll make you look uninformed. Trump will actually be president until January 20th, 2029, unless he passes, and then it would be JD. But the question isn't asking that. Shut the fuck up. Go somewhere else. Goodbye. All right, let's see what else we got going on today. What else is out there? News and Documentary Emmy Awards? No, we don't need that. Trump cabinet, Virginia governor signs bill to expand affordable child care. American healthcare teachers president, Dick Durbin, James Tallrico, Gavin Newsom. Okay, we can do that one. But first, let's go back. Let's check in on our second poll of the day. Second poll of the day. Got 20 votes in so far, 5 minutes into our poll. And Marco Rubio pulling ahead. It might be the second day from Mr. Rubio.
MOU with them,
be a winning day for Rubio.
And a strategic engagement one as well. So just a reminder of another war you helped to settle, Mr. President. But from that, now we are seeing the emergence of a great new relationship with Armenia that really had grown stagnant for a very long period of time. So we're doing well on that front as well. Thank you.
And could I just ask you, Cuba and Venezuela, what's going on there?
Well, interesting. On Venezuela, that process continues, that three-phase process, of obviously stabilization, recovery, and transition. I would just say, just since January 3rd of this year, okay, and I think this number's right, and Chris or Doug can correct me on this, but I think over 10 million barrels of Venezuelan oil to be delivered to the United States since the 3rd of January. That industry is being professionalized for the first time ever. It's going to the benefit of the Venezuelan people.
Hills Have Eyes is not Appalachia. So. Hills Have Eyes is literally in fucking New Mexico, like Nevada, like out in the middle of the desert, like, yeah. And then, like, Appalachia is like East Coast, Kentucky, all that shit. I'm from rural Illinois.
Selling oil in the market at market rates. The money's going to an account in the United States, controlled and monitored by Treasury, audited by KPMG, and it's for the first time ever the money's not being stolen. It's going to the benefit of the Venezuelan people.
For the first time ever, the money's not being stolen.
Because unfortunately,
for them,
it's run by a bunch of incompetent communists. And being communist is bad. Being an incompetent communist is like the worst. And but the country's been taken over by this company called Gaesa that basically controls 70% of the economy. None of the money in that company goes to help the Cuban people. None of it. So we'll be talking to them. We'll be working on it. We want something good for the Cuban people, and hopefully there'll be a good outcome there for them. There needs to be. It's 90 miles from our shores, And having a failed state 90 miles from our shores is a threat to the national security of the United States.
So we're producing right now more oil by double than Russia and Saudi Arabia combined. There's never been anything like that. We don't need oil, we don't need the Straits, we don't need anything, but we have more oil now being produced by 2 times than Russia and Saudi Arabia combined. A great stat. Do you want to say something about that?
Well, I would, President Trump, under your leadership, we've opened up lease sales on public land. This is land that was put away for the benefit and the use of the American people, like the Strategic Petroleum Reserve in Alaska. The Biden administration had illegally stopped holding lease sales during their administration. President Trump famously said, drill, baby, drill, but before you can drill, you've got to open public lands. Between the lease sales that have happened in the Permian, in the Bakken, and on the North Slope, just since January of this year, it's over $4 billion of revenues come into the Treasury. That's 13 times more than the Biden administration brought in on lease sales in the entire 4 years they're in office. Sir, your policies brought that in 5 months. So with that, a lot of excitement, a lot of activity. We also inherited just in one district in Carlsbad, New Mexico, 5,600 unprocessed applications to drill for oil and gas on public land. And when we're drilling on public land, those companies pay a royalty, and that money comes to all of our citizens, and it goes to local school districts, and it goes to states. It is the core of the economy in parts of our country. The team down there working for the Department of Interior, Bureau of Land Management, has dropped that by 91%. It's one of the reasons why they had a record lease sale. It's because now people go, I can bid on federal land, and I'm going to get a permit to drill, and it's not going to take me 5 years to get it. I'm going to get it in a month or less. And so it's exciting to see your vision, and of course with this energy dominance, us, as you just noted, largest oil producer in the world, largest natural gas producer in the world, largest natural gas exporter. This is an opportunity for us to bring prosperity and affordability here at home, but also bring peace abroad. So President Trump, your energy dominance strategy with Chris Wright, Lee Zeldin, all the people that are working on this, people around the room, it's been really incredible. And of course, you mentioned Venezuela, but all that flowing to our Gulf Coast refineries is also helping to keep the price of gas down at home. So again, it's an amazing transformation. Bottom line is the center of geopolitics around energy has moved from other parts of the world to the Western Hemisphere in the last 5 months. You turn Venezuela from a sanctioned adversary into a strategic ally in 45 minutes. Never happened in history before. And what's going on in Alaska? When I was there last week in Alaska, the North Slope, 80,000 barrels a day coming online at Pica. That wouldn't have happened with you. It's up by Willow on the North Slope. That's going into the Alaska pipeline. 20% increase just off that one field. So amazing work. Energy is a high-tech industry, and those guys are.
All right, well, let's check in on our poll. We are 10 minutes into our poll now. 27 votes in. Mr. Rubio still holding strong. Let's check in on I'm a retired lieutenant colonel in the United States Marine Corps. New Jersey Governor Cheryl announces guardrail plans for data centers. New Jersey Governor makes an announcement for Trenton on regulation guidelines for data centers.
Guidelines for data centers amid the rising cost of energy in our state. The governor said companies wanting to construct data centers in the state are tasked with creating their own energy and must build with the local community's best interests in mind.
Gas wasn't this high when Trump took over?
Advanced computer. Evan, Dave, Assemblyman Bailey and Venezia, Commissioner Suarez, Mayor Stanzilis, Evan, Dave, Angeli, all of our other friends in the labor, environmental, and business communities. I've said many times, I ran for governor to create a more affordable New Jersey, to lower costs and build a government that delivers for the people that it's meant to serve. So today I want to talk about something that's on a lot of people's minds, data centers. warehouses full of servers that process the massive amounts of information needed to power the internet and advanced computing, supporting everything from cancer research to your checking account to your streaming service. We have over 80 facilities right here in New Jersey. They've created over 100,000 construction jobs, boosting tax revenue and feeding our innovation economy. But today, AI is driving an explosion in the construction of even bigger centers nationwide. There are real concerns about their impact on our energy bills, our water supply, our quality of life. And there are worries that growth is happening without transparency or concern for our communities. I know for a lot of people, things can feel out of control, like it's the Wild West, like it's happening in the dark.
Biden handed over
I hear you,
keys
and
to
we've
the
got
White
your
House?
back, and I have a plan.
Johnny, 100%
I started
correct.
on day one with immediate action to lower utility costs. We haven't seen real growth in energy demand for decades, but in the last few years, there's been an explosion. Electricity prices were up 20% last summer alone. They've been the fastest driver of inflation. So I signed 2 orders in the middle of my inaugural address to freeze utility rate hikes and to massively expand new power generation, because more power means more supply and lower costs for everyone. In my first weeks in office, we approved 6 new solar and battery storage projects that had been languishing for years. We're modernizing our state's natural gas plants, and I ended a 50-year moratorium on new nuclear power in our state. But to really bring utility rates down, we have to address soaring demand, not just supply. And data centers are the single biggest driver. Our grid operator, PJM, has said that data centers were responsible for 70% of the projected increase in demand last year. The Department of Energy says they'll account for over 10% of all power consumed in America by 2030. So today I'm stepping up to establish clear guardrails for data centers in New Jersey, the first comprehensive strategy across the country like this. It's a 4-part plan to make data centers pay their fair share by bringing their own energy to the table, to make sure they operate transparently, add value to the grid and to our communities, and support good-paying jobs long-term.
Now, here's the thing, is they basically are, they're setting the roadmap, just like New York set the roadmap for COVID in 2020. They're going to set the roadmap for the regulations of these data centers. So the things that you hear today are very, very important to this, because the point is that New Jersey is going to house all the most important data centers for the island of Manhattan.
For years, smaller data centers have been scattered in office parks across our state. Each needed maybe a megawatt of energy to operate, and they'd connect to the grid to get it. But today's data centers sometimes use 300 megawatts, enough to power entire towns. That skyrocketing demand is outpacing supply and jacking up all of our electric bills. Not on my watch, not on your backs. As a first step, my administration is working with the legislature to establish a set of rules to protect average ratepayers by demanding that data centers pay their own way. We're going to require them to bring their energy to the grid, contracting with their own power generators, and paying for the grid upgrades needed to handle the larger load. Instead of asking New Jerseyans to subsidize big tech, we're...
Let's go back to our poll of the day again. We're now 16 minutes into our poll, 45 minutes left, 39 votes in, and J.D. Vance pulling away with it, 51%. Back to
Crushing
Trump.
it, and they're loving the fact that they can provide affordable, reliable, secure energy for America.
And we're working very hard in California. You know, a lot of people don't know this, but California has tremendous oil reserves. It used to be number 3 in the nation, and the radical left has just wiped it out. And we're working very hard to get that open again and get it so the people, their gasoline prices, their lack of energy is just staggering. It's staggering. And we're actually making very good progress. Even people that were against that at one point, now they're saying, wow, that'd be great. But people don't realize it was one of the, right, Chris? It was one of the top drilling states, one of the, I would say in terms of reserves, as among the top in the country. Nobody thinks of that with California. Everything was just closed down, really violently closed down. and we're opening up some of it, and we're being met with actually great spirit because they're paying so much for gasoline that they don't have to be doing that. And they have a very incompetent group of leaders, like grossly incompetent. So I think that's going to be something. On a slightly smaller subject, while Doug was speaking, Department of Interior, he and his people have done a fantastic job on D.C. D.C. is looking beautiful. The fountains are almost all open. We had 28 of them. And we have one in particular, a very long lake, we call it, the reflecting lake, between the Lincoln Monument. Nobody's ever said anything like it. You take a look at between Lincoln and Washington, you have the longest, like 2,400 feet long. That's longer than the tallest building.
Open border, men in girls' sports, immigration on taxpayer dollar, fraud. Democrats are disgusting.
In the world, if you set it on the other side.
God damn.
And it's almost 200 feet wide. And actually, it was built in 1922, and from 1922 on, it really never worked. It always leaked, and it was a problem, and a lot of things. And hundreds of millions was spent. The Biden administration and the Obama administration spent hundreds of millions of dollars trying to get it to work, and they failed. And we'll be spending, you'll give me a number, but I think it's a very low number. It's like in the number that we originally talked about, where we cleaned it, we fumigated it. We had 10 major truck dumpsters.
Who the fuck's Alpha? Why can't you just say the word Trump? Is it like Voldemort or something? Or is it like you think you're going to get banned? Like, I'm very confused. Like, done with Democrats? Exactly. They're like inbred as fuck on all
garbage
this shit,
taken
man.
out. Can you believe it? A friend of mine came in, very substantial
I can be
person
critical
from
of
Germany,
Trump,
wanted
but
to
y'all
see the Washington
suck.
Monument.
Democrats suck.
I wanted to see the Lincoln Memorial. He said, I look, but that horrible reflecting pond is disgusting. It's filthy, dirty, and disgusting. They said, really? I drove down. I said, Secret Service, let's take a drive. And we went down. I said, that's terrible. And for the most part, it didn't work. I mean, they wouldn't even have water in there. But when they did, it was just dirty, filthy water that leaked out. And we got to work on it. And it was supposed to cost almost think of it, $400 million, because it's like putting the skin on a skyscraper. But bigger.
Crazy.
Much bigger.
Crazy.
Many skyscrapers, you could almost say, other than for the world's tallest. Think of it, the world's tallest skyscraper is shorter than 2,400 feet. So we went to work, and over the years I built hundreds of pools. I build them every time I built a building. I always like to build Olympic-sized swimming pools, and I was very aware swimming pool, what goes into making a swimming pool. It's not as simple as people think. You never want it to leak. You want to have beautiful surface. I said, you know, I have an idea, Doug. We sat down. We said, let's take that long thing where we're going to fix it with concrete, which leaks, concrete, all sorts of other materials that all leak and don't look good. They're gray. And, you know, swimming pool, I have a swimming pool right up the road. I built it 22 years ago. It's perfect. I said, does it ever leak? No. It's perfect. Good contractors. I actually called in a couple of the contractors, got some ideas from them, and I gave it to Doug, and Doug's done an unbelievable job. And so they were going to spend maybe $400 million. I don't know. You never know with cost overruns and everything, but it was going to take years to build, 3 years, 4 years. And we'll have it done before July 4th, substantially before July 4th. If we didn't have such bad weather the last 4 or 5 days, it could have been almost done. You can't do the substance of the rain. And what they did is they cleaned it. They cleaned it. They cleaned the pool. More than 10 dumpsters.
We put in, let me guess, national flag blue. You didn't want to do something dark. You wanted to do something light, but they chose something dark. But it's national flag blue or American flag blue.
Garbage.
Fucking goddamn, bro.
It was disgusting.
Why do we need to hear the same story every day from the same person?
Every corner had massive amounts of, I guess that's the way the tide goes.
Repeat. We're on repeat.
Had massive amounts of garbage. We then steam cleaned it. We then sandblasted it. And then we pebble blasted it. It's a bigger version of sand. We
see
made
the Hoover Dam?
as good as it can be. And we're now covering it with the most beautiful.
Hoover Dam was pretty dope. Hoover Dam 250. The Hoover Dam 250 was pretty cool. Yeah. Check that shit out. Check that shit out. Yo, it's about to go off this summer, y'all. It's about to go the fuck off this summer, y'all. Cause that's crazy. That is so freaking gorgeous. That is amazing. They need to do that on everything. Probably costs like $5 too. Probably costs like $17,000 bazillion actually. But does that not look dope as hell? America 250. Fuck yeah. We fucking putting the flag on the Hoover. Damn yeah. America. Fuck yeah. Putting the motherfucking damn on the Hoover. Let's check in on our poll. JD Vance coming away with a 56%, 55 votes in, with 23 minutes into our poll.
We're asking big tech to improve our grid, making it more efficient and reliable, and lowering costs for everyone.
Open borders, men,
As a
and
second
girls
measure,
sports,
we're going to
immigration,
require transparency.
tax
People deserve
waiver
to know
dollars,
what's being
fraud,
built in their
Democrats are
communities
disgusting.
and what shared resources are being
Can
used.
you stop? You just
Today,
put
the
your
public
spam in
has
the
no
same
clue
thing.
how much energy or
Let's not
water
spam that.
any of these data centers actually
I'll
need.
put you in timeout for 10
I want to
minutes.
mandate
Stop spamming the
transparency
same
and
thing.
start by requiring data centers to report energy and water.
The only reason gas dropped towards the end of the Biden term was getting more oil from terrorists, Iran and Venezuela. JD Vance,
Used to the
2028.
public every 6 months.
So looks like he's going to
The
pull away with
legislature
another
has
one.
been hard at work on bills to address these first two measures.
Another one.
I want to thank Majority Leader Ruiz, Senator Berzacelli, and Assemblyman Bailey and Venetia for their leadership.
Like Johnny Host,
I look forward to
know
working
you
together to
know
get
he's a
strong bills
dipshit.
to my desk as soon as
Trump
possible.
could take a runny
As a
shit
third step,
in a
we're going to
baby's
make sure
mouth
that
on
data
live
centers
TV and the
engage with
supporters
and
would
invest
find
back
a way
in
to
the
blame the
communities
baby.
where they built.
There are people that
This
would.
isn't an uncommon ask. For a long time in America, it was understood that if a business
There are people that would. There are people that would blame the baby instead of the tiny shitter. All right, we just dropped below 50 for the first time, guys. That's it. We're done. But we're not done with the show because I want to play some video games. I want to play some fucking Forza Horizon again. So we're going to play some Forza Horizon again. Actually, let's check in on Tim Pool real quick. What's these fucking weirdo conspiracy
Republicans
theories
decided to start playing that game, and now the number of seats up for grabs realistically is like 20 tops. So the biggest majority they're going to get is like
crazy.
10 if they, assuming they sweep everything.
That's pretty
And we
crazy.
know, given what we're seeing in these Senate primaries.
Damn. Wow. All right. If you're dropping out on us, I'll see y'all later. We are gonna play for what is it? At least 35 minutes. I shouldn't have done this. Let's keep the cabinet going though first too. Let's keep the cabinet going. Cabinet was pretty good. We were what? 40 minutes in.
I'm a retarded.
I'm a retarded. I mean, are you tired? I do want to play this fucking game, though. I'm so excited about this game. I love this game so much. I lied. I'm going to play the game. No, we'll jump in. Every race. After each race, I'll give Trump 5 more minutes. How about that? I'll give Trump 5 more minutes after every race. That's how we'll get through the Trump cabinet fucking meeting. It's the only way I can. Facts are kryptonites and MAGA morons. Why did they put the music back on? Shut my fucking music off. I want that bullshit music on there. I want your bullshit music. Discovered 3 landmarks out of 74. Top speed is 186. Race events completed 2 of 93. Gas prices 44% compared to the time last year. So much winning.
Welcome back, Alex.
Hello. Welcome back. Let's fucking drive, y'all. Oh, I don't want to do that. I want to go full screen. Exit full screen. There you go. All right. Just settings. I don't know why it's lagging like a motherfucker though. Performance. Oh, performance. Yeah. Oh, I don't know why it's doing that. What are we doing? What's wrong? Can we not have C-SPAN on there too? Is that the problem? I don't give a shit about the C-SPAN. Let's move it out. We're done. We're done with Trump. Over 118,000 manufacturing jobs lost since Trump took office. So much winning. Yeah. There we go. Now I know where I'm at. Alright. This is my kind of game. Alright. Hey. Go fuck yourself. Okay. So, I need to... What's next?
Okay, Alex, what do you want to do? Okay, Alex, I have set your route to the dirt race event.
Fuck yeah. Brandon defaults to whataboutism's not worth the time arguing with him. Some of you all should seriously look this stuff up instead of looking so bad. Airfare up 21% under Trump. Enlighten us with your mega expertise, Brandon. I mean, I just don't I don't understand why Democrats attack so heavily everyone that is even positive about anything with Trump. Because if you could just be a little bit more practical, you get a lot more people to be friends with you again. Because it's I can agree that Trump does a lot of stupid shit. I could even be yeah, not vote for him again after the Iran war. Bro, I'm in auto drive and I just got hit. That's crazy. But I can't do that when all the cool people are still on Daddy Team Trump and all the Democrats are see, this is what you get. You fucking like Trump for 2 minutes. Nah. It's chill the fuck out, you know what I mean? Mega never attacks. Mega are totally practical. It's facts. If you want to call it MAGA, or you just call it people that were independently bold enough to put Donald Trump's fucking name on a ballot in one of the 3 times it was there. It's freaking kind of crazy, to be honest. Oh, man, my back is killing me on this one. That was crazy. It just went through that car. It was imaginary or something. Are you fucking retarded? No. Are you retarded? Might be. Might be a little retarded. And wear his face on everything but not a cult. Why do you love lumping people into a group of people? Why can't you associate human beings for who they are? Realize that somebody can say, ha ha ha, Daddy Trump is pretty funny, without putting a poster up on their wall of him. The only poster I have is a poster of Andrew Cuomo telling me that he fixed COVID in 2020, and it's signed by him. I have that poster, and then I have a Louis C.K. signed poster. Those are the only posters I own. I don't even own a Trump poster. The U.S. debt has now exceeded $39 trillion. None of the above. Yeah, we already got that. MAGA never lumped Democrats. Exactly. But Democrats lump MAGA. Ooh, ooh, ah, ah. Alright, let's do it.
Dirt races are all about edge of control.
Festival race, motherfuckers.
Mastery. Handbrake optional.
Ooh, handbrake optional. You think I can pull it off, guys? You can pull it off? First Avenger that math doesn't math. Congrats, you're the 5% and Louis C.K. Yeah, Louis C.K. and Andrew Cuomo. Yeah. What you want to fucking talk about now? Oh, this is a tough one. It rained. I could already feel it coming. It's gonna be a problem. We gotta cut those corners. Oh yeah. Oh baby. Keep it going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Hold back up. Hold back up. Ooh. Yes. Nailed that turn. Come on, baby. Oh, got it. Okay. 13% in. Ooh, yes. Oh, goodbye. Oh shit, what am I in? 4th place. Oh my god, come on now. 22% 4th place. Oh. Yes. Oh, I'm coming back. I'm coming back, motherfuckers. Oh, I'm coming back. Coming back like Michael. Come on! Come on! Oh, come on, baby. Woo! 43%. Oh yeah, come on, come on, come on. I'm gonna give it. Oh, cut it. Oh. Ooh! Oh, he boxing me out. Oh, he boxing me out. Play with me. Play with me. 68%. Oh, there I go. There I go. Oh, yeah. 73. Now I just got to keep it. Woo! Just got to keep it. Just got to keep it. Woo! Just got to keep it. 78. 80. 85. 90. 93. Oh my god, a turn at the end. A turn at the end? What? Yo! Oh! 10 trillion, 25%, 40 trillion. Where did 37.8% come from? Why would I be afraid of some guy that can't even have balls? Can you pick it up for me, or do you have balls to pick up? Another number one. Hell yeah.
Nothing like a podium to sweeten finishing a Horizon qualifier.
Okay, what's next? Well, what's next is we're going to check in on our stream. So right now, our poll of the day, 62 votes in, JD Vance coming away with it. Let's go back onto our C-spanner. Let's get 5 more minutes of Daddy Trump since we just won a race. I like doing it this way. Give you guys the news. I play video games. We all have fun, right?
And we're now covering it with the most beautiful blue.
I told you. I told you.
You think of it as a very sophisticated form of rubber.
Didn't miss anything.
No leaks, no problems. And it's beautiful. It's called American Flag Blue. That was the color we chose. And we are probably 70% finished with it. It's going to be finished. The hard part's done.
Bro, we're not missing
and then
anything.
We decided to do much more than we originally. I thought I was just going to do the surface, but we said the problem is the outer ring looks pretty bad too, where you walk on. So we sandblasted that. This is all additional work. We didn't want to do, when you do something like this, when you do the one, you think the other looked okay, but then when the other, you see the new surface, the old stuff that looked okay looks really bad. So we cleaned that, sandblasted it, the walkways, all of it. It's a tremendous amount of area. It's thousands of feet long, very wide. This is where the people stand, not the water part, the dry part. And we had a combination of granite and stone, and we're pointing it, fixing it. The joints were terrible, everything. The whole place was a mess. And when it opens in a couple of weeks, long before July 4th, we want to have it for July 4th weekend, but it'll be long before that. You will see something that's really going to be beautiful. And now we're looking at the World War II fountain, because that's also in pretty bad shape. On the bottom, we're going to duplicate it, I think, with the maybe with a slightly different color. Actually, we'll go with a lighter color. But Doug and I have a lot of fun doing it. Your staff is fantastic. They've really worked well. But the concept, so think of it, instead of spending $200, $300, $400 million, and it will never work, we're going to spend like $10 million maybe, $12 million. Instead of spending 4 years, we're going to spend, like if you add it all up, like a couple of months. And instead of going through 4th of Julys as a horrible construction site, we're going to have it open before the 4th of July. And the difference is it's better. Somebody said, oh, well, but it's not the same. Some of the fake news would say, well, but it's not. No, it's like the pen store. The pen is better at $2 than it was at $2,000. This is the same thing. This is far better. Won't leak. It'll last for 50 years, maybe 100 years. They didn't even know. I said, how long will this last? Oh, I think you'll get 50 years out of it. We did the swimming pool treatment, but they said, sir, for a little more money, we can get industrial strength. I said, that sounds good to me. Same color, same everything, same stuff, but it's actually much stronger. It's used for industrial. I said, I love that. So we're going to have that open. It's going to be really, really beautiful. And it's a very important thing. We can't have people looking at the Washington Monument, going, the memorial. If you take a look, the Lincoln Memorial, it was built, I guess, a little after the Lincoln Memorial. It's embarrassing. It was so horrible. I never saw anything like it. It was filthy dirty. It was Biden. And they spent, between the two of them,
it was Biden.
They spent hundreds of millions of dollars trying to fix this thing. Now, when Obama did it, he spent way over $100 million. And they had a great idea. Let's use the water from the Potomac. Because environmentally, they liked it. Somebody said that was good. But the water from the Potomac was not suitable for this, to put it mildly. It was disgusting what happened. And so they spent hundreds of millions, over $100 million, and they immediately closed it. It was closed for many months, and nobody did anything. It was closed. It's basically been closed. But go back to 1922. It was always sort of, people think of it as beautiful, but it was always a mess. It's going to be unbelievable. It will be unbelievable. It's actually exciting. I want to ride over there today if I can. I always have a problem with Secret Service. Is in love with my walking along, checking the sidewalk, the new sidewalk, to see whether or not they pointed it correctly. But they do. We have great contractors doing the job. But we'll spend a very tiny amount of money, and it'll be better than it ever was when it was built in 1922. It's very exciting, actually. To me, I love construction. It's very exciting. And we do many things. We did 28 or 29 fountains. I made a contribution to redoing Lafayette Park. That's the entrance to the White House, and it was an embarrassment. The floors were broken. They had bricks. Some of the bricks were missing. You know where they're missing? They took them out to throw at people. We're going with them. It's going to be a world-class park. It'll be open pretty soon. They're doing a lot of work over there. Diluted. That was a contribution that I made with some other people. And it's going to be really beautiful. That was really the front door to the White House, but you couldn't even use it. It was so terrible. People would come to the White House, and it was so terrible. So with that...
All right. And then, if we go back to our poll of the day, 41 minutes left, 70 votes in. We have J.D. Vance still pulling away with it. 18 minutes left. Back to Forza.
Okay, Alex, I have set your route to the road race event.
Hey, I asked how you're doing, but it looks like you've been busy. Keep it up.
Okay. There's no way the hair is real. You have a dead cat on your head. Mate, LOL. Mark England. Come on now. Not that bad, am I?
Shirakawa Circuit may be on the smaller side, but it makes up for it by being nice.
Oh, a
and technical.
1989 Nissan today I'm going with. Oh, baby, I'm ready for this. Come on. I'm 3 for 3 on these races. But it has not been easy. Alright, here we go. Yes, please. Uh-huh. I played the Dale Earnhardt Kyle Busch style game. I just come for the cut the corner. Never hit the back. That's the problem. You never want to hit the back. Oh, lag like a bitch. What happened there? Just had to work through that lag. Ooh. Oh, fuck. Let's go. Didn't really help me anyway. I don't know why I did that. Cut the corner, cut the corner, cut the corner. Oh, no, 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 sir. No, sir. No, sir, come on. Fourth place, lap 2. Oh shit. Cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it. Come on. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Last one. Give me him, give me him, give me him, give me him! Oh, oh, motherfucker. See this game times 2 gets the Xbox and Mark England. Facts. Ooh, come on. Come on now, don't play with me. Don't play with me. Can win the 4th one. Oh, no, 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 no. Nah, son. Come on. Come on. Keep it, keep it, keep it, keep it, keep it. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Woo. Kept it. Remember when Trump had to pay $25 million settlement for running a scam fake university? So much winning. Remember Trump sticks? Member berries? Member berries? Okay, so poll, 47 minutes, 13 minutes left, 73 votes. J.D. Vance still at 56%. Back to Daddy Trump.
I'm going to ask Pete to talk a little about some of our great success.
Yes, sir.
Including Venezuela, you might talk.
Absolutely, sir. I think actually your efforts on the reflecting pool are actually a great segue. If you look at Washington and Lincoln, these are two men that faced monumental tasks and stood up in historic fashion and delivered for the American people. And when you step back and look at 47 years of what Iran waged war against us and our people, there's only one man over the course of both presidency who has stood up and said they will never get a nuclear weapon, as Marco said. So whether it was Qasem Soleimani, whether it was scrapping the Obama deal that was going to give them a weapon, whether it was the 12-day war or Operation Midnight Hammer, you created the conditions to ensure the American people and the world are safeguarded from this generational threat. And so when you authorized Operation Epic Fury, just like you talked about with the reflecting pool, we didn't do the same old thing the way we'd done it in the past after Iraq and Afghanistan, the way we waged wars. Instead, you said we're going to do this smart. We're going to do it overwhelming. We're going to use maximum lethality, and we're going to bring them to their knees. And so whether it's their Navy that's at the bottom of the Persian Gulf, their Air Force, their air defenses, or their defense industrial base, they may have missiles, but they can't build more right now. And they can't build more drones right now. And they can't build more ships. And so they came and cried uncle to talk, which Steve and Jared and the Vice President and others are doing so ably. And during that time, we put in a world-class blockade. And they haven't been able to bring anything in or anything out from Iranian ports. And we know from the intel that their economy is hurting big time because that is their lifeblood. And again, bringing them to the table. So whether it is through the efforts of your negotiators that they ensure that they never have a new
deferments during Vietnam because he was too big a pussy to serve his country. And this is Mega's guy.
Nuclear weapon, or we have to go back to the War Department.
Who
to
is
finish
Mag?
the job that way.
Who is Mega?
We're prepared to do that, and I think even our reach on the dark fleet of Iranian tankers. No Iranian tanker around the globe is safe, and we've seen seizures all around the globe. Again, choking off their economic lifeblood. But all of this is possible, Mr. President, thanks to the investments that you've made in this department, firing on all cylinders. For the second year in a row, we're at historic recruitment rates. Last year, we said that here. This year, we beat it even faster. The American people are excited about what you're bringing to our department. Our defense industrial base, $50 billion in private investments. Because of the meetings you've held, defense manufacturers are investing in new plants and new manufacturing, new production lines, so that we're getting weapons faster than ever. And then the $1.5 trillion that you've committed to the department going forward, that's 1 million American jobs. 1 million American manufacturing jobs. That's Golden Dome for America. That's F-47. That's B-21. That's $50 billion in drones. We're going to lead the world in drones, shaving years off of production of all of those, everything under budget and ahead of schedule, which is what the warfighter deserves. And we saw it. You mentioned Venezuela, Mr. President. You saw it on display there. Think of the fact that our Southcom commander just landed via helicopter at our embassy peacefully at the welcome of the Venezuelans. Because we're now partnering with them, hopefully, even on the counter-cartel mission as we secure our hemisphere. So we've secured that southwest border. We're going to war with the cartels through the America's Counter-Cartel Coalition. Venezuela is a big part of securing our energy future and defending the homeland. And then I just want to note one more thing to give you a sense of how committed this president is. Maybe a year ago, he heard the call of Nigerian Christians who were being targeted and killed by ISIS in Nigeria. And he said, Pete, I want the War Department to focus on ensuring that we do everything we can to protect those Christians. Partnerships like that can take time behind the scenes, but he never wavered on it. And we got the assets there, and over the last month, and there hasn't been much coverage of this, we killed ISIS #2 in Nigeria, who's most responsible for killing Christians and trying to target the U.S. homeland. and have since, because of the intel we gathered, killed hundreds of ISIS members who were targeting and killing Christians in Nigeria, creating a whole new opportunity there. So there's a lot of things we do that the media pays attention to, and a lot of things that the president empowers the department to do on behalf of the American people that he deserves great credit for.
Thank you. Great job. You're doing a great job. I just want to say on recruitment, we're very proud of the fact that for the previous 4 years, previous administration, they couldn't recruit people. And that included, by the way, police and firemen and others. They were not proud of our country. And they couldn't recruit. Anybody with a uniform was having a hard time recruiting. And they set record low numbers. They were way, way behind. And literally from November 5th it started. It started even before we got going. But from the time we won the election.
All right, let's see where we're at on that poll. Poll of the day. 53 minutes, 7 minutes left in that poll. 80 votes in. J.D. Vance ahead still right now. Back to Forza. Let's get a race in.
This is not a drill. We got the call to the Horizon Invitational. So get that route set, and I'll see you there.
All right, let's fucking do it.
Jordy and I will be at the starting line, though I haven't been able to reach him. But a time to not call back.
All right, making use of the camera I gave you. There's so much you can do with it.
No, I don't
Get
want
creative. Experiment with the
The
settings.
fuck? No.
Share it to the world.
Get out of here. What are you doing? There we go. Autograph. Trump. Trump supporters are pedo protectors. Trump is a fat pussy just like you. Why am I a fat pussy? Do I have a fat pussy? I wish I had a fat pussy. That'd be pretty cool. But it sounds like a free fat pussy just sitting around. Right? Right, Jay? The Donald, Mr. President Trump, the president, the leader of the world, dreams of the needs more like him. I'm actually gonna pause this. I'm gonna let this run, guys. I'm gonna go and take my dog out for a walk real quick. So enjoy Daddy Trump.
Now we've had numbers of recruitment, the likes of which we've never had. Record recruitment in every single branch, and that includes police and firemen. Record recruitment. So we're very proud of that. Thank you. Great job. Thank you, sir. Kelly, please.
Mr. President, you have made us a nation of builders again. You're leading us to the greatest economy that the world has ever known. And I see that every week as I travel this country, main streets across dozens of states, from Alaska to Maine. I've been in many of those states 2 or 3 times. I hear it everywhere I go. Please thank the president for putting us back on track. They thank you. They love you. They want more of what we're doing: tax cuts, deregulation, fair trade, energy dominance. Small businesses are spring-loaded, and we see that in the jobs numbers. In the last 2 months alone, we've created over 300,000 private sector jobs in this country. Most jobs are created by small businesses, 2 out of 3. And small businesses, as you know, make up 99% of all businesses in this country and account for half of our GDP. So when that part of the economy is finally working again, they've gotten out from $5 trillion of regulation that the Biden administration put on hardworking small businesses. They penalized growth, investment, hard work, and success. But thanks to the working family tax cuts that every single Democrat voted against, hardworking families, the welders, the waitresses that I meet on factory floors, across this country, from Pennsylvania to New Mexico, where I'll be tomorrow. Brooke and I are going to Arizona tonight. So we see this everywhere we go. It's one of the most underreported stories in the media. Main Street is back, and that's because America first. I'll tell you the other thing about fraud. Small businesses are particularly hurt by the fraud because they're some of our biggest taxpayers in the country. And they show up every day. They work hard to provide for their employees, to build their businesses. They're doing it the honest way. And they see fraudsters taking from the American people. It's taxpayer money. And so you think about, at the SBA, we found $200 billion in fraudulent PPP loans that the Biden administration tried to hide and forgive and sweep under the rug. We've turned the first $22 billion of that over to Treasury for collections and to DOJ for prosecution. Our Inspector General is already announcing that people are going to jail. There are jail sentences now being served. We've announced that 140,000 people have been barred from ever getting SBA loans again, defrauding the government for about $9 billion. So we are going to continue our work under the great leadership of Vice President Vance and appreciate the partnership because it's really accelerated our ability to get the job done. But then just back to small businesses. We have record business formation in this country. That's another story that the media won't tell you. Over 500,000 businesses on average a month this year. So it's not just record people working, strong job creation, business formation at all-time records in this country, but we have manufacturing expansion 4 consecutive months. That means that's a leading indicator, meaning that we have expansion coming. Another story the media won't tell you, 98% of all manufacturers are small businesses. 75% of our defense industrial base is small business. They're our main exporters. And so America first, free trade, fair trade, deregulation, tax cuts, and energy dominance is helping workers on Main Street, and that's why they tell you to tell me to tell you, Mr. President, thank you, and they love you.
Well, thank you very much. Great job. Thank you, Kelly. And I just say, you know, we went to China last week. We had an amazing meeting with President Xi. The relationship's very good. We're doing a lot of business with China now, but it's not where they were ripping us off. For years and years, they ripped us off like nobody ever got ripped off. Now it's a very profitable business that we do with China. And they respect our country again. We have the strongest military in the world by far. They respect our country again. Scott, please.
Good, sir. On the economy, 2 words, resilience and prosperity. The continued resilience of the economy speaks for itself, even during the Iran conflict. And it speaks to the strength of your leadership. Pro-growth policies are creating conditions for American families and businesses to prosper. We're entering the second half of our 250th anniversary year with renewed optimism and momentum. It has never been a better time to be an American, and as you said earlier, we have a record number of Americans working. The economy that you are building is not only strong, but secure and resilient and better positioned to compete globally. Real GDP has risen 2.7% over the past 4 quarters, something that many economists said couldn't be done. In the first quarter of 2026, despite the Iran conflict, GDP grew at a 2% annual rate. The Atlanta Fed GDP now is predicting 4.3% for this quarter. In terms of prices, I believe the prices are transitory. Oil will be lower than pre-conflict levels when this ends. Natural gas is already down, as you mentioned. Drug and pharmaceutical prices, they are plummeting, and rent is down. We are more resilient to energy price fluctuations due to your energy dominance agenda, to regulatory efforts, and we have never sold so much energy to the rest of the world. Business investment rose at a 10.4% annual rate in the first quarter. Capital expenditures and business equipment rose more than 17%, and that is as a result of the tax bill and tariffs. Jobs related to commercial construction, factory construction, are up 90,000 since your inauguration. In the past 2 months, the private sector, as Kelly said, has added 313,000 new jobs. And those are private sector jobs, sir. including 13,000 manufacturing jobs. We have construction jobs. We're building the factories, and those will turn into manufacturing jobs. The stock market has hit new highs. The stock market lives in the future. It is seeing on the other side of this conflict, it is a strong symbol of optimism for the future. Corporate earnings are high, and wages are doing well. For the tax season, we had the best tax filing season in history, which is a victory for Main Street. The average refund was nearly $3,300, 11% increase from last tax filing season. And importantly, 62 million returns had one of your 4 signature policies: no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. They reduced taxes. 85% of our seniors paid no taxes on Social Security, and the deductibility of auto loans for American-made cars. For what I believe is the most important government benefit for young people since the GI Bill, the Trump accounts. The app will be available on all major platforms tomorrow morning, and it will place the American dreams into the palms of the hands of parents and children. Nearly 6 million kids have been signed up for Trump accounts, and they will launch on July 4th, and it will be a great symbol of the 250th anniversary. Main Street prosperity, workers have seen positive wage gains. The unemployment rate remains low at 4.3%, and private sector job growth is strong. So just to reiterate, resilience and prosperity have been the marks of your second term.
It's been great. It's been amazing, actually. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. President. Iris Tao with NTD Sister Media with the Epoch Times. You've done a lot to clean up DC and fight crimes here. And as a lot of Americans and people from all around the world are coming to the nation's capital ahead of the major 250th birthday events here, how important is it for you to really keep delivering on these results, but also what does it mean for America's identity on the national and international stage?
So I'm very proud of DC because when we came here, a little more than a year ago, it was a very dangerous place, and now it's a very safe place. It's been incredible what's happened. As you see the crime numbers, we had restaurants closing up, and nobody wanted to go to a restaurant. They were afraid to walk to work. It was a very, very dangerous place, very unsafe. And now it's a very safe place. We brought in the National Guard. We worked with Cash and the FBI, and Janine is doing fantastically, and Todd, and everybody. And it's now a very safe city, and people are pouring in, and you see the grass is all beautiful. We put a lot of new grass in because, you know, like people, grass has a life too. And this grass, it was up a long time. But the waterfalls we talked about and the fountains are, most of them are in the final stages or fixed. People are writing me letters. People are talking about it. We have some of the most beautiful fountains in the world, and there wasn't one, not one, that worked. We had 29. Out of the 29, not one was worked, in addition to the reflecting pool, which is even, you know, that was the big one of them all, but that was a disaster. So with all of that, and this place is looking beautiful. I rode through it yesterday. Where the fences are down. The homeless aren't staying here any longer. We're helping them out, but we're not, you know, we just can't have them in the nation's capital. And when foreign dignitaries come in, they're saying, the first thing they say to me, this place has really changed. They saw that it was going down. Our whole country was going down just like.
All right, let's push for some Forza, but first let's see who's winning that poll right now. 96 votes in. J.D. Vance still holding strong and pretty. I'm still here. All right.
You haven't completed the Horizon Invitational yet. Completing that event will grant you access to Horizon Japan.
Ooh.
Okay, I have set your route to the selected option.
Make America Obama again? No thanks. No thanks. What are we doing here? Unless we're just talking about like where we don't care about politics, then I'm for it. Thomas Massey, yeah, appreciate the man, but it's over.
The Horizon Horizon Invitational is a rite of passage for new Horizon drivers. And I had a look at the M2 you'll be driving. Courtesy of the festival, of course. Very cool.
Lies every day won the war. Iran keep him. This idiot stupid. Trump is in leash. Trump whacks the China shoes now. Will cost you between the stupid war now.
Jordy, where are you? They're closing the gate like now.
Running late. I'm sorry. I'll explain later. Just go. We can make it.
Jordy, you are... Ugh. Let's go.
Oh, shit, there you go. Oh, what?
Too close, Jordan. We nearly missed out.
Oh, shit.
Thanks for waiting.
What's going on here?
Maybe
20%. Goodbye. %. 50%. Woo! What is going on? %.
Oh wow, there it is. The festival. Come on, foot down.
90. Okay, make America Bernie Sanders then. Yeah. Don't forget you used to use your blinker. Melania is Epstein #1 hoe. Have higher expectations for your hero, Megas. Gavin Newsom will probably win, not my candidate. What the fuck is going on?
Welcome to the festival. That was quite a drive. Are all your races that exciting? One of the perks of being the boss is that I get to reward drivers who show real potential. So, these are for you.
Okay.
So, your choice.
Lannister, Mitsubishi's, the Toyota, or a Ram. I picked the truck last time. Ram's gay as fuck, too. Toyota or Mitsubishi's. I like this guy. This guy looks better.
You know what the Evo can do. All surfaces,
Mega, the
no
most
drama.
uneducated
If you
group in
want
America.
a turbo-powered beast, then we have the events to match. An excellent choice. And remember, you'll get to drive them all anytime you want.
Bernie would have been good. Yeah, if he would have gotten it in 2016, he would have definitely could have saved us from Trump and everything. But they didn't want to do that. They wanted to fucking
Your first
give it
Horizon
to Hillary.
wristband. Your key to compete in official Horizon events. First of many on your journey to becoming a Horizon legend. But let's have a look at what's next. To claim this next wristband, you'll need to complete this Horizon rush. To access it, you'll need to prove yourself. You'll be in faster, Class B cars, and here are the events to match.
Okay.
So what will it be?
Okay.
Now you're part of the Horizon Festival. We'll reward you with wheel spins. All you need to do is spin the wheel and claim your prize. Give it a go.
Yo, I just want a Porsche. Fuck yeah. Give me that Porsche. Give me that Porsche. I want the Porsche. New car, yeah. Give me the cars. Change car. Give me my fucking Porsche. BMW. So far I have a Mitsubishi I just got. That was a 2001. I got a 2020 BMW. I got a 1970 GMC Jimmy. Got a 1985 Mazda. Got a 1989 Nissan. I got a 1989 Porsche. Ooh, baby. 2024 Ram. A 2022 Toyota. And a 1984 GT Toyota. Get the car. Get in car. Vroom, vroom. I apparently already won that race like very easily or whatever the fuck I was going on there. So let's go back to the poll of the day. 102 hours done. JD wins. Poll's over, guys. JD wins again. 21 wins for JD Vance now. Y'all did it. Day 29 tomorrow. Back to Daddy Trump for a minute.
DC was going down. And as you know, the restaurants were closing up. There weren't very many restaurants, and now they're opening up. You can't get a space. And everyone's going out to dinner, and they're safe. And we have the national security, and we have the National Guard, and we're going to keep them. You know, I want to, by the way, just in case I mentioned, keep them. And don't lower the number either. Somebody said, oh, are there less? I said, I hope not, but don't lower the number if you don't mind, okay?
We're going to surge this summer, too. Yeah.
They look great. You know what? They give people. We took out 5,000 criminals, hardcore criminals. By the way, 90% of the crime is calculated. They count 2% of the people do 90% of the crime. That's a great number, because when you get rid of 2%, 2% you can get rid of. 90% you can't get rid of. 2%. So 2% create 90% of the crime. 91% actually, to be exact. And we moved 5,000 people, Todd, out of here. These are career criminals. Many of them came over from the last administration through the open border, the ridiculous open border, no vetting, nobody knew who they were. They came out of prisons, they came out of, they're drug dealers, there were people from mental institutions. And Washington, D.C. is now a safe and beautiful place. And it's only going to get more beautiful. Yeah, please.
President Trump, thank you so much for having us in here today. What are your thoughts? Why do you think that Joe Biden is trying to sue the Department of Justice, former President Joe Biden, to have his tapes that he did interviews on blocked from the American people hearing them? Do you think that he's trying to hide something and maybe Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche could comment on if they will countersue and release those tapes to the American
Are
public.
you talking about it with respect to his book?
With respect to his
Well, I'd
memoirs.
like to see it. I don't know. Maybe there's some constitutional reason. I don't know. I would like to see what he has to say, because we can never allow what happened to this country to happen. The man was grossly incompetent, and the Democrats, I call them the Democrats because the policy is so bad, but they came very close to destroying our country. We can never let it happen again, and I hope that you're able to produce that. I think it would be a very interesting reading for people.
I'm sure Mr. President, Iran wants control of the Strait of Hormuz. Would you accept a short-term deal that allows Iran and Oman to control the strait? And would they have to open it immediately, or would you be open to that happening over a period of time?
No, the strait's going to be open to everybody.
And who would control it?
It's international waters. Nobody's going to control it. We're going to watch over it. We'll watch over it, but nobody's going to control it. That's part of the negotiation that we have. They would like to control it. Nobody's going to control it. It's international waters, and Oman will behave just like everybody else, so we'll have to blow them up. They understand that. They'll be fine.
Mr. President, how much economic pressure do you feel to get the Strait of Hormuz open?
Well, you have to say, the United States has so much oil that we are an exporter of oil. So we have plenty of oil. We're very lucky. We're blessed with the greatest piece of land in the world from that standpoint, and we have more than anybody else. And now when you add Venezuela to it, we have, I think, 64% of the world's oil. And we're getting along very well with Venezuela, by the way. It's being run really beautifully. The big companies are moving in. It's going to be amazing, because it's also, like us, they're very blessed in that sense. But we have natural energy that no other country has. We have more than anybody else. So it's really a world problem, because most of the world doesn't have that. And we're making it available. During the closing, I don't know if you've seen some of the satellite pictures, boats, hundreds of boats lined up. It looks like, I used to say, the Long Island Expressway with cars. They're lined up, and they're coming to Texas, Louisiana, they're coming to Alaska to fill up their boat. A big boat. Some of them are really big, 2 billion gallons. Even bigger than that now they make them. They make them up to 4, Chris, I hear. Now they make them up to 4. The 4 are now the big ones. Used to be the 1s. Now it's 4 million barrels of, think of that, 4 million barrels of oil in one boat. But they're lined up, and they're right now heading to Texas, and they've already filled up, and they've gone back. In addition to that, you have a lot of boats. You have about 1,500 boats in the strait wanting to get out, and at the right time we'll release them.
But the American people are seeing higher gas prices. Now it's come down a little bit, but it's still $4.45.
Oh, it'll come down a lot. It'll come down to where it was before. We had it when I was in Iowa. We had we're driving by, and we saw gas stations.
Okay. All right. Let's back to Forza. What? Michael, you missed it, but JD and Marco Rubio were the ones in the runoff tonight. And then JD ended up winning in the very end. Now, fellas, take your damn meds. What a fool. All right. Damn, the Ram or the 2001, obviously. Obviously, got to go with the 2001. Obviously. Temple Cross Country. Change difficulty. You're winning easily. Now it's time to increase the challenge. Would you like to increase the difficulty and from the average to above average and increase 20% extra credits? Think so. If they're telling me that I should do it, I'm supposed to do it, right? It's essentially like the game's going up in, challenge. Alright. So this one's in a higher difficulty. So I'm probably going to get my ass kicked now. So beating everybody's ass. Woo. Damn. Come on, baby. Give me up there. Give me up there. Damn, I'm gonna get my ass kicked. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put it back down on easy. Fuck. Fool! I don't wanna get my ass kicked around. That's not fun to watch, right? It's more fun to watch than just taking his ass. %. Yo. Damn, ended up in 9th place just for changing it. Had a great day today. Limited time with the Trump haters, LOL. It's pretty good. That was good. I think we're going to switch the difficulty back to easy.
Okay, Alex, what do you want to do next?
I want to do it again, but I want to do it on easy. No, I want to beat it. I want to beat it first. I want to do it on easy.
Okay, Alex, I have set your route to the dirt race event.
This is the dirt race event, isn't it? Oh, I don't get to race him again? Oh, okay. Well, fuck that. Let's do that.
$1.90 a gallon, $1.85, $1.87 were the three that we saw. We had it down in some places below. Now, we can't help but California where they charge so much tax that, you know, you lower it and they charge tax. They've got to straighten the act out in California. But we had oil, we had gasoline down to a very low number. I think we'll be hitting that number shortly after that whole excursion ends.
Does that give you more urgency?
But regardless of anything, as Marco said better than anybody can say it, you can't let them have a nuclear weapon. They would use it instantly. They wouldn't think about it. They would use it instantly. I've gotten to know them. They would use it instantly.
Does that give you more urgency, Mr. President? You've said that you're in no rush to make a deal, but with gas prices that are still high across the country, people are paying more for travel. Does that give you more urgency to make a deal? Why doesn't it?
Well, I'll tell you, the primary urgency, if I said this, it wasn't covered properly, but the primary urgency is that we can't let Iran have a nuclear weapon. But at the same time, we have a tremendous amount of oil, gas, coal. We have tremendous amounts of energy. We're blessed with something very special. Those prices are going to come down. They're going to come down fast. I think that you'll see, actually, Todd, I think you're going to see lower prices that we had even before we did this. Now, I knew there'd be an increase. I said, we have a choice. We don't have to do anything in 2 years or 1 year or 2 months because Iran would have had, if we didn't hit that with the B-2 bombers, Iran would have had a nuclear weapon within 2 weeks from that date because they were ready to go. And if they had a nuclear weapon, it would have been used already. It also would have been used had I not terminated the Obama deal, the Iran nuclear deal, as we call it. That was in my first term. Had I not terminated that, they would have had a nuclear weapon a long time ago. I would say it was a guarantee that it would have been used. And it would have blown up Israel. It would have blown up the entire Middle East. And that's never going to happen. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, on the shooting
on
last
Iran, would you be comfortable with Russia or China taking their stockpile of highly enriched uranium, and have they offered to do
No,
that?
I wouldn't be comfortable.
Mr. President,
That would not make me comfortable.
is the U.S. considering easing sanctions on Iran to allow Iran to sell its crude to market?
No, we're not talking about any easing of sanctions or giving money. No sanctions, no money, no nothing. We have control of money that they claim is theirs. We'll keep control of that money. And when they behave properly and when they do what's right, we'll let them have their money. But right now, we're not doing that, and it's not, one thing is not contingent on the other.
Mr. President, on the shooting last weekend, it came barely a month after the third assassination attempt against you during the White House Correspondents' Dinner. What was your reaction when you first heard about the latest shooting, and what gives you the courage to really keep doing your job effectively without thinking about these threats every day?
Well, I can't think about it, because if I thought about it a lot, you know, I wouldn't be a very good president. I wouldn't be here, probably. I'd be up in some room with a locked door and say, just leave me alone. So I can't really think about it. If it's just something that, it's a sad part of life. It's a dangerous business. What I'm doing is a dangerous business. And they say, and look, we have been maybe the most consequential, but we certainly have been one of the most consequential. This group has been a very consequential administration. And they say if you're not consequential, you don't have so much problem. If you are consequential, you do. So you have to look at that. But it's a shame. It's a very sad fact of life. Look, anybody in office, not only in this country, in other countries too, but when you are a consequential president, your life is in grave danger. I knew that.
Mr. President, how would you characterize the current state of the talks with Iran? I guess if it were a football field, what yard line would you be on?
Well, I think we're doing very well. I think starting to give us the things that they have to give us. And if they do, that's great. And if they won't, then the man on my left is going to finish them off.
Is there a time frame in your mind?
What?
Is there a time frame in your mind for?
I mean, it happens quickly. The problem is every time I mention a time frame, for instance, I see, you know, we've been doing this for a few months. Vietnam lasted 19 years. Korea lasted 8 years. Afghanistan lasted many years. They were all many, many years, and we're into it for a few months. And I read about you people like you. What's taking so long? But we're in it. You know, we lost between two wars. Two big wars, Venezuela and Iran. We lost 13 souls, 13 great people. Met the parents, great people. And it's a terrible thing, but 13. If you look at the war casualties,
maybe give him a little bit more time, right? Just as long as it doesn't take a year. I don't know. Like, what are we doing here? Like, can we just think we need to just hurry this up, guys? It's a little too much. Work its kinks out in auto drive. It's glitching like a motherfucker, but hopefully it'll like figure itself out. It's because it's giving him the flash service over this. There we go. There we go. There we go. Good job, buddy. There we go. American pride is back. Trump your taco. I trumped your mom. I'm putting it back on easy though, y'all. I'm gonna win everything. I don't want to be playing this game where I'm not winning. That's dumb. This game where I'm not winning. I also like don't have really good cars, and so like I'm supposed to be being in like 9th place. So it's like, do you want to change the thing so that you can be in 9th place and have to pay for all these points and dumb shit? Take forever. No, no, it's not what I want to do. Oh, I do need to move my fucking leg out though. Oh. Difficulty in settings. Difficulty. Average. Going back to average. If average is average, average is average, motherfuckers. Can't play this game on me. It's average, right? I don't need to be above average just because I'm winning. See ya. Come on, baby. Oh, I went the outside. I should have went the outside. You never go the outside. 52% complete. We're fourth place right now. Oh, I went on the outside. I went on the outside. Never on the outside. On the inside. Woo. Third place, 74%. Oh, shit. Come on, baby. 88, 89, 90, 91, 92. Oh my God, is he going to beat me? 93, 94, 95, 96. Oh, motherfuckers. If Carter had any balls, we wouldn't be here now. Trump is the best president since Reagan. I'll agree. Another first place victory for your boy. Winner, winner, chicken motherfucking dinner. Gruesome Newsom is busy draining firefighters' water reservoirs. That's hilarious. Carter was so bad as Bill Clinton, the douche that signed NAFTA. Facts, he did sign NAFTA. That was
Okay, Alex,
wild,
I have
right?
set your route to the road race event.
All right.
I know we just got.
All right. Anyway, back
The deaths in wars from Vietnam and all that, they lost hundreds of thousands of people in numerous of these wars. We're very cognizant of that. We want to lose very few. We want very few to be injured. We're very careful. But war's war. War's dangerous. But we've lost 13. I saw the Democrats took an ad putting in the 13 people that were lost. And when you look at hundreds of thousands of people that were lost in the Middle East, Iraq, all the different wars we were in, we have done an amazing job. With that being said, I hate to lose 13. I hate to lose one. But we've been very capable. I mean, when you think of it, we took over Venezuela in one day. We have done a similar job, but we said, well, give them a little chance at the request of somebody that we greatly respect from Pakistan, the Field Marshal and the Prime Minister. They've been great. They asked us, would we pause the war for a little while because they'd like to do so. We'll do that. But we had them beat. They're, no better now. We could close that out very quickly. If we can do it in a different way, that'd be good. If we get everything we we want, but we could close that out very, very quickly, and we may have to. I don't think so, but we may have to.
Let's get out the World Cup, if I could. The U.S. spent a lot of money getting the World Cup here and increasing the infrastructure. Does the economic benefit outweigh the cost?
No, the World Cup is great. It's the most successful they've ever had, ticket-wise. It's they've never had anything that sold so quickly. It's amazing because it's the United States.
What
You
are
don't
the
think of
economic
I call it soccer. You know, it's just easier to do because we have football and they have 2 footballs, right? They call it football. But most people never thought they'd see anything like that. The World Cup, it's turned out to be the most successful World Cup from the standpoint of what's happening than they've ever had. Yeah, please.
Thank you so much. Rowena Ortiz with
Clintons
Turning
don't
Point
want
USA. I
those
have one
files
question
to
for
be
you and one question for Vice President J.D. Vance on fraud. What's your message to the New Jersey leaders pushing back against ICE operations at Delaney Hall?
About ICE?
Yes.
Or about NICE, as I call it?
Costing a
The NICE facility. I'd love to change the name, call it NICE. They do a great job, and it's all paid for protesters. You can see by the signs. The signs are all made by the same beautiful factory. It's a printing plant. In fact, I'm thinking about using it. They do such a nice job. These aren't protesters. These people are fake. They're all paid for. And I will tell you, Tom Holman and that whole group, and now Mark Wayne is so incredible. Mark Wayne, do you want to just respond to that? Sure. We run the finest facilities anywhere in the world of their type. But we have some horrible killers. We have killers. We have guys that have murdered numerous people in there. And these are the people they're trying to protect. There's nobody that runs a facility like we do. Mark Webb?
Yeah, it shows this radical left Democrats' priorities when they decide to go out and protest a detention center where we're housing rapists, child predators, murderers, drug dealers, and they choose Memorial Day of all the time to go protest something that they say that they're that it's because they're on a hunger strike when there was only a handful of individuals that was refusing to eat because they want their ethnic group or their ethnic right food. Well, they can go back to their country and get whatever food they want. The fact is, we're giving them the calories they want. This isn't Holiday Inn. We're giving sanitation. But for the Democrats and the governor, like Governor Sherrill and Senator Kim and Senator Booker, to go out and do something like this of all the days is very frustrating. And we see Antifa signs are literally out there. The local police literally refusing to respond. They barricade it, not allowing our employees to come in and out. ICE has to go out there, remove the barricade, and then you have one of the senators complain because he got splattered with a pepper ball. I'm sorry, you probably shouldn't have been there.
You know, one thing I'll say about that, the local police, I know a lot of the New Jersey police, they're phenomenal. They love us. But they're told not to do anything.
That's right.
They love us. They love him. They even love me a lot. And I'm in New Jersey a lot. It's great. I mean, I think it's a great place. It's got a group of people running it now that are having a hard time. But they really like this administration. They love this administration more than any administration they've ever had. And they're thanking me all the time. And, you know, I see those guys going up and down the Jersey Turnpike with their big, beautiful hats on. I say, I'd like to look like that someday. You know, they're great. No, these are great people, and they love him. And they.
All right, back to Forrest Gump. What's the way?
First wristband, but I'm already.
Okay, Alex, I have set your route to the road race event.
Excited for the next. The only thing standing in the way is that Horizon Rush event. We've got work to do.
Trump is destroying the greatest CIA operations. Godspeed, POTUS Trump.
that Nissan Figaro my uncle had in the UK? Well, treasure cars are a one-of-a-kind abandoned cars around Japan. I've got a bunch of photos that might help you zero in on the location.
Oh shit.
Take a look at this one.
Doing this one.
It might be nearby. Now, I know that bridge is pretty recognizable, but what direction? I'll leave it to you. I'm pretty sure a friend of mine used to play golf around here. See the golf carts? Keep an eye out. He mentioned he saw one around here. Check the clip.
Over the bridge right now?
In
Donald
400
Trump is
yards,
coming in.
turn left. Arrived at your destination.
Alright. I'll take that 94. Let's take her out. Oh shit, I didn't mean to delete that, my guy. Sorry. It actually accidentally hit it and I can't unhide it again. Killed everybody on this one, didn't I? Oh. Pocky, you lost. Don't cry. Just face it. Donald Trump's name appears in the Epstein files more than 5,000 times. Trump testified against Epstein. Dumbass. Get a clue, loser. Exactly. That's so retarded. People that do the Epstein thing is so crazy with Trump. It's like, if we're going to bring up Epstein, there's a lot of people, not Donald Trump. But speaking of Donald Trump,
You've qualified for your first Horizon Rush event. Well done. Make your way there, complete the event, and earn that green wristband.
Okay. Take a green wristband. Last 5
They
minutes.
love ICE and they love the Border Patrol, and they're not allowed to talk to anybody. It's like, but it all comes from the top. They have to follow orders. They want to keep their jobs.
Are you expecting Congress to pass a federal gas tax holiday?
A gas tax holiday?
Yeah, to suspend federal
Well,
gas
it's something we might talk about. Let's see what happens over the next week, 2 weeks. A lot of good things are happening.
So are you going to the Knicks game next week?
No, I was invited to I was going to go on Wednesday, but they closed it out very quickly. They made it. And Jim Dolan's a great guy. He's, as you know, owns and in charge of Madison Square Garden. He's having a good year. Boy, what a team. They win all their games. They have some great players. I think I'll be going to one of the games. Yeah, I was invited by numerous people.
Whoa.
And Jim. And I think I'll be going. It's great.
He's going to go to one of the NBA final games? Oh my God.
The Knicks have
That's
really,
crazy.
They really suffered for years. They're doing right now.
Would you accept an agreement with Iran that just calls for further talks on the uranium, or
No.
is the only option in
No,
your
the
mind
basics.
one
No, I
for?
would for some of it, because it's a memorandum of understanding for speed. And one of the things that will happen is the Strait will open immediately. But it's got to be perfect. I'm not going to do this. I didn't do this to get a crummy agreement. The worst agreement ever signed was by Barack Hussein Obama. What a horrible agreement that was. It was a setback for this country, for the whole world. The Middle East would have blown itself up. No, I would like to have the countries we were talking about, with Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, and the others, we would like to have them immediately join and Steve Witkoff is working on that with Jared and some others, but would like to have them join the Abraham Accords. It'll be historic if they do it. And I think they owe that to us, to be honest. I think, because that would be
amazing.
A
That would be
tremendous sign.
amazing if they did
And
that.
I think those countries owe it to us.
And I think Saudi Arabia would, which means a lot of them would.
We're definitely pushing it, Mr. President.
I'm not sure we should make the deal if they don't sign. You want to know the truth? If they don't sign to join the Abraham Accords, I don't know that we have countries in there already. UAE, great countries, bold countries, and it's turned out to be so good, so effective, and so we're requesting strongly that they join. It'll be great. It'll be great for Saudi Arabia. It'll be great for Qatar, and Kuwait, the whole group.
So the Iran deal might be contingent on more countries joining the
I don't know.
Accords.
I don't want to say that. I'm not going to give you, what's contingent, what's not.
What if
I can say that
stealing American tax dollars?
we can make a good deal right now, but maybe not a great deal. And if it's not a great deal, we're not making it. So, because we can make a great deal with this guy right here. And
Americans
but
pay
it's,
extra
it's
for
a lot
everything to
nastier.
serve Israel, but
Probably wouldn't go as
Republicans are not
quickly.
standing up.
Wouldn't be talking about it as quickly, but it would be foolproof. But I think we're doing very well, Steve. I think we're doing pretty well in terms of the negotiation, but we'll see. If it's not going to be a real deal, because Obama had that horrible JCPOA,
Just married
whatever it was. It was the worst deal.
Keeping it in the family.
It was a path for Iran to have a nuclear weapon very quickly. Years ago, they would have had a nuclear weapon. We might not be here talking about it right now. They would have had a nuclear weapon. And frankly, Obama picked the wrong country. He should have picked another country. I won't tell you what it was. But he picked the wrong
Approval in us
country when he picked Iran.
his priorities.
But we have things understood now with Iran. It's been nasty. They've lost their leaders. They've lost, and it really is regime change. You know, we didn't set out for regime change, but by the fact that we're dealing with a totally different group of people than we were at the beginning, and frankly, I find them to be much more reasonable. I actually find them to be smarter. But I find them to be much more reasonable. This is regime change. One regime is gone, another regime is gone, we're dealing with the third. Pieces of them.
Facts.
Because some of them are gone too. And I find them, I think, how can you have a stronger regime change than that, you know? So I do find that. I'd like to thank you all very much. We're doing great. Our country is doing fantastically well, and this group of people is outstanding. Thank you all very much.
Alright, and that's it for today, guys. But we're going to do one more race on Horizon, so stick with me if you want to. If not, I will see you all tomorrow.
Horizon Rush events are meant to challenge your technical driving skill. High speeds on a huge obstacle course against the clock. Good luck.
Peace out. Peace, Michael. See you tomorrow. Bro, I am in auto mode and you can't even. Computer is messing up auto mode. Pooped his diaper. Time to end this meeting. Breaking news: Kanye West just was seen leaving the Hollywood Improv Theater after doing a stand-up set. So Kanye West is doing stand-up now, everybody. That wasn't a joke, that was real. Here we go.
Our first Horizon Rush, an extreme drive through Tokyo City docks. Next wristband is waiting at the end of it.
Oh, I'm getting this wristband. Okay, okay. Oh, with dust, dirt. Shit. Oh, it's a time trial. Oh shit, this is gonna be crazy. 1%. Oh, this is insane. I knew that was gonna happen. shit. Has the stream started yet? How? How do you come in at the end? How do you know? How do you know to come in at the end and play it? I appreciate you. You're like our mascot. You know what? Today's the day. You've officially been modded, my sir. Standard modder. Don't make me take it away. Get this turn. There we go. There we go. Oh my God. Oh, 41% done. I don't even know what my time is versus everybody else. Okay, I have no idea if I'm doing good or not. Guys. Oh, that can't be good though. That can't be good though. No. There we go. There we go. 50%. We'll see. I don't know if it's going to be good enough. Bro, it's so torturous, all these turns. I don't like this one at all. Oh, no. Don't fuck that up. Don't fuck that up. Oh, I fucked that up. No. I don't want to mess. I want to do that one again. No. Come on. We gotta straighten out. Oh, see ya. There we go. Oh, wait. No, that fucked that up again. Damn. Okay. You gotta hit that glass. You gotta get enough speed for the glass. What did I get? Did I get the wristband? Finished. What does that say? 2? Ah, 2.
There's some seconds to shave off out there.
2. Oh man. First time I didn't actually get it. A winner. It says winner still. What's that mean? Let's look at my wristband even though I just got 2. Democrats for life. It's time zone for New Zealand. Oh, you're from New Zealand.
Wear that new wristband with
I'm from
pride.
Australia.
You
We're in
earned
the
it.
same country. Appreciate you, brother. We'll hold this with much honor. What's up? What's up, mate? Is my kangaroo friend? I'll think about it. Appreciate y'all.
Your next milestone
We are
is
done
the
for the
Horizon
day.
Showcase event. This one is pretty special. You know the drill. To qualify, we have these new events open to you. So, what takes your fancy?
Where do I keep playing? Where do I keep playing? Damn, that's a lot of events. A lot of events, bro. Let's close it. Let's do what's next. Oh, new car collected. I got a 1984 Ford Evolution. Nice.
Okay, Alex, what's next?
Japanese style or total? Rally. Let's do total rally.
Okay, Alex, I have set your route to the cross-country race event.
Only one car I can use. 2001. My little 2001 baby. City Dog Cross Country. This is what I wanted. I wanted a real race. I'm going to be done after this one. But I think I'm going to win it. I better win it. 2 laps. Gotta cut them corners like Earnhardt and Bush. Yeah. Ah, yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch. That's what's up, bitch. Oh, baby, second place. Come on now. Come on now. I want to lead the lap. Give me the lap. Give me the lap. Yeah, baby. I want to lead the lap. No, you little bitch. No! You fucker! Came out and stole the lap from me. Fucker. Oh, I'll win the race then, don't you worry. Buddy. Don't you worry. You might win the lap, but I'll win the race. I promise you that. Got the fucking lap on me, motherfucker. I got you. he in this case? Ooh. Oh man, this guy's a pro. Lucky I got behind him to begin with. Cut him off. I have to play a little dirty on this guy. Fuck out of here, motherfucker. Oh. Oh, he's gonna play dirty on me. Okay, I like this game. Nah, bitch. Ain't gonna happen. It's my race. Right where you did it to me, motherfucker. Yeah, let's go. Woo. Let's get it. Let's get it. We got it. Oh yeah, 1989 Fox Pack Mustang 5.0. Damn. Yeah, you're right. That's exactly what it was. That's not Mustang. That's not what mine was. So that fucking guy was. I think, right? Or were you just saying that's your car? That's the car of choice. All right, guys, that's it. Heavy hitters, what's that? I can't. We could play for forever. We could play for forever, but we need to go. It's the end. The end of the live stream. Goodbye. See you later. Tomorrow night, Thursday night. See you then. Peace.